Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. You waving, everyone? Good morning.
Good morning, Jen. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, Skip, how are you today?
It's the worst morning of my life.
No,
Next question.
Remember last week?
The worst.
Now, every time we know for the last 16 weeks, when we come out here and the Cowboys don't play well or New England doesn't play well, and I start my spiel, you talk about I'm bored, I'm tired, hurry up.
It's your turn, your show.
So you know what today, Skip?
I'm not
I
bored.
bought you a Snickers.
Okay.
I want you to have that right there because I'm going to be a while.
I don't eat candy.
Okay, well,
Maybe you do. I don't.
But I
don't eat candy.
I'm going to be a while.
I don't need a candy bar. I need a vomit bucket.
No. I'm gonna keep this right here because I'm gonna take my time, Skip.
Couldn't keep my dinner down. Couldn't keep my breakfast down. So I don't think I could definitely keep any Snickers down unless you want to see it a second time.
Old Baptist minister Sharpe today. I'm gonna bring the sermon to him today, Jenny. I'm gonna bring it to him today.
All right. Well, I hope your stomach survives. You keep things in check. We have so much to get to today. Have Tom Brady and the Patriots fix their offense? Plus, we are going to give out some letter grades for both Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz, but we got to start by diving into what exactly happened between the Cowboys and Eagles. The Cowboys' offense was held in check in Philly. Ezekiel Elliott had under 50 yards on the ground. Zeke did haul in a team-high 7 catches, but that resulted in only 35 yards. And the All-Pro running back failed to find the end zone. Dak Prescott went 25 for 44 and had just over 250 yards with no touchdowns or picks. On fourth down, with under 2 minutes left, Dak failed to connect with Michael Gallup for the potential game-tying score, and Jerry Jones expected a better effort from his team. Take a listen.
Very disappointed. We all expected to leave here as the NFC's champs. We're not. We thought we could come up here and play a better game than we played, and thought right up until the very end of the thing that we could come in and make some plays and get it done.
Shannon, what happened yesterday?
The team that had the better quarterback, the team that had the better structure, they won. Now, you see, therein lies the main problem for the Dallas Cowboys. Those are the very exact words Jerry Jones uttered, Skip, on that Thursday night after Chicago. Remember, he said, I thought we could come up here and get this win against a very good Chicago Bears football team. You see, what happens is the Cowboys want to be contenders. They want people to think of them as contenders, but you got to put the work in. You can't talk about it. Jerry Jones has built these expectations so high. Remember in training camp, Skip, this is the best, talent. Only my Super Bowl teams, I've been around those Super Bowl teams, and this is the kind of talent that he has. So he amped up expectations. And lo and behold, I told you this day was coming, Skip. I'm not going to gloat. This is not my day to gloat. This is not about that. This is not about me and walk it to him. You know the Eagles, they use that now, Skip, in their moniker. They call that man walk it to him. This is why talent evaluators, I've told you, and everybody keeps telling you, this is why talent evaluators say Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Because one guy was down his 3 number 1 receivers. Alshon, D-Jack Aguilar, Lane Johnson. The defense was in shambles. Case Keenum threw for 393. First Cousin threw for 330. Matt Ryan. As a matter of fact, they had Haskins looking like he should have been in the Pro Bowl this year last week. And your guy, 265 on 44 attempts with no touchdowns? Ooh, that's even after Zach Ertz went out of the ball game with that rib injury, Carson hung him out to dry, and I knew it was just a matter of time. I said, he's going to go back to the locker room, get a little medicine in that thing, get it right, come back out there and contribute. Skip, Jerry Jones is very disappointed for the simple fact is, and I said this, the Cowboys, if you can't beat this battered up, this banged up Eagles team, you do not deserve to win a game. You're not worthy of the playoffs. And for Wentz to go out there 31 of 40, and somehow, Jenny, he only got a 61 QBR. That's ridiculous. That's disgusting. But I know somebody that had one worse than that. But anyway, Skip, your guy was terrible. No excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about no shoulder because they let that cat out of the bag. I don't want to hear anything about that. I don't want to hear anything about drops. I want to go. I want to play because I don't normally do this because I hate, because people watch the game. But I'm going to show you because what they did, they kept flashing up signs yesterday because I didn't hear what they were saying. Mm-hmm. Oh, the receivers have this many drops. But how many? I need them to start putting Fox. I need you guys. I'm talking to Fox, my network. I need you guys to put up terrible throws by the quarterback, just like you highlight and try to make it look like the quarter. But watch this throw right here. Now, if Dak Prescott hits Michael Gallup, he's going to hit his head on the goalpost. Now, is that a good throw, Skip Bayless? What about this one right here? Woo! Sailed it. Come on, keep it going. Ooh, I love this right here. Now, these are not repeats, ladies and gentlemen at home. This is, look at this. Amari is wide open. He's just frustrated. Now, look at this. I can make that throw. Oh, my goodness. And that guy wants $40 million. He's the most accurate. He's the most criticized, most scrutinized. I don't know. I get sick of listening to people talk about that. This is why that Carson Wentz has thought of and will always be thought of as a better quarterback. Your guy has all his weapons. Everybody was there, and he didn't get it done. Walk it to him. It was his day. They deserved it from top to bottom. They got a better quarterback. They're better coach. Their organization structure is a lot better. And the Eagles are flying, and you sad, and I love it. You gonna cry when we leave the air.
Tell me when you're finished.
It's your turn.
Are you finished? I don't want to be interrupted when I start.
No, I ain't gonna interrupt you. I'm good.
My turn. Thank you very much.
Skip.
I am so glad this season is over. Because I am so sick and tired of watching the underachieving nightmare that the 2019 Dallas Cowboys were. They were favored in 14 of their 15 games they have played to date. 14 of 15 times Vegas said they're the favorite. They're now 7-8. For me, it was one long vomit ride. It took 9 years off the end of my life. Trying to figure out what was wrong with this team. And yet, I'm hoping the only metallic silver lining is, please, merciful God, tell me it's the end of the Jason Garrett era. I have seen enough, and I'm going to say it one more time. I called for his job after his second full season, 2012, in which he went 8 for 8 and lost a second straight year of losing a division-deciding game in December. He's now lost 4 in 9 years, division-deciding games in December. He should have been gone a long time ago, and I blame only one man for keeping him afloat, his puppet. Jerry Jones, the puppet master, is responsible for all of the above. Once again, my team came out flat and lifeless at kickoff. Once again, I had to sit back. I know it from the first snap of the game. Uh-oh. Here we go again. Another disaster. They gave up 125 Eagles yards in the first 2 Eagles possessions and fell right behind, as they often do, 10-0. And I'm saying, where's the urgency? Where's the emotion? Clearly, Doug Peterson had his team far readier to play than Jason Garrett had his team ready to play. And yet, my quarterback hung in. And I don't care what you say, my quarterback before the biggest game of the year could not practice all last week because he had a banged up shoulder that required a cortisone shot on Thursday and pain-killing injections before the game and at halftime yesterday. And given that degree of difficulty, I thought he actually hung in and played pretty well. Not great. He missed several throws. He missed Tavon Austin late. But he also made a whole bunch of other throws that kept him afloat, including 4 straight at the end of the half that set up the field goal that cut it to 10-6. And guess what, boys and girls? My team got the second half kickoff because Dak correctly said we defer when they won the coin toss to open the football game. So now, here we go. We got the football. And guess who made his first appearance of the whole game? This guy, number 21, named Ezekiel Elliott, finally, I don't know where he came from, he finally got on track. Guess what he did in the first half? They tried to feed the beast. Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, always tells me, they got to establish the run. You got to run the football, says Eric Dickerson, the Hall of Famer, who often comes in on Fridays. And I'm saying, first down in the first half, here they are. Zeke 3 yards, Zeke -2 yards, Zeke no gain, Zeke no gain, Zeke -4. Those are his touches on the first 5 first downs that he got the football. That established what? It established negativity. It went backward. Dak Prescott is playing against the chains the whole first half, but it's okay because they're still afloat. And here comes the first series of the second half. And he flips it to Zeke, who gets loose for 8 yards. And then he throws it to Zeke again. Little short dump pass, and he wheels and gets loose. And I actually saw a little urgency from Zeke that I rarely saw all year. I saw him actually run hard. And then I saw another pass to Michael Gallup for 10 yards. And all of a sudden, on first down, they gave it to Zeke because they got the Eagles on their heels. And there's a lane to the left, off left guard. And he slams it up in there for 10 more yards. And they come right back and give it to Zeke for 8 more yards. And I say, we got him. It's 2nd and 2 at the Eagles' 26-yard line. We're going to cash this in, and we're going to be ahead 13-10, and we're going to take control. And finally, Carson Wentz, who will unravel, who will choke, who will come apart under pressure. We're going to put some heat on Carson Wentz, and let's see if he can stand the heat in his own building. With his fans getting a little itchy, they're starting to turn on him, they're starting to boo. Let's see if he can do that. And what happens on 2nd and 2 at the 26? My guy waves out. My guy waves out, just like Chicago. It's the Chicago nightmare all over again. Zeke waves out. Take me out, coach.
Oh, we ain't going to talk about this.
Take me out. It's my turn. You told me it was my turn.
You can talk all that you want to, yell and scream, you lost.
It is my turn.
You lost the game.
It's my turn.
Take as long as you want. You're still lost.
My $50 guaranteed $1 million running back. He got it all. He is by far the highest paid running back in pro football. He waves out. Just like Chicago. What are you doing? Did Jim Brown ever wave out of any game in his life? Did our man Eric Dickerson, who I consider the greatest running back, ever wave out? Did Walter Payton? Did Emmitt Smith? I could go on. Did anybody ever wave out? Any great player? Ezekiel Elliott is not a great player. He got his money and he shifted it into neutral, into cruise control. And all of a sudden, here comes Tony Pollard, the rookie. He's cold as ice. It's getting colder. It's getting dark and cold. And he runs into the gap. Wait a second. I got to do this at second and 2. And they give it to him up the middle for 1 yard. Now it's 3rd and 1, and they run some little trick option play, some quick pitch. It's not even really an option. It's just a quick pitch to the perimeter. Here it is. And they play it. Philly played it great. He runs back up into the middle, and he's not warmed up, and he loses the football. So not only do they not get the 10-9 field goal, they get nothing. That's it. That was the end of my Dallas Cowboys as I knew and tried to love them all year long. I thought this was a Super Bowl team, and that was the end of my Cowboys as I knew and loved them, because it tears the heart out of a football team when they see their $50 guaranteed $1 million man, 90 total million, wave out at the most crucial moment of the football game. If you go score and you're up 13-10, I believe you win that game. If you wave out, you're going to lose that game. And now I got to get back to my defense. And I've heard all last night about, the Phillies did it after being decimated by injuries. Here's the key play for my defense in the football game. It's a 1st and 10 play at the 43. This is a couple series after the Zeke wave out. And Carson Wentz makes a nice throw to a wide-open Greg Ward Jr. And I love Greg Ward Jr., who's better than Aguilar. Don't tell me he's not better than Aguilar. He catches it and he gets open. Guess who was supposed to be covering him on this play? There's a guy on the field you probably don't know because he wears number 43, and his name is Malcolm Smith. Guess where he was last Sunday when the Cowboys were wiping out the Rams? He was sitting on his couch watching it. I was down 2 starting linebackers yesterday, so they had to put Malcolm Smith in the game, and I don't know how. He somehow got matched up on Greg Ward in the slot. I don't know.
I don't believe that was the right call. I believe the corner on the outside blew that coverage. Look at the top, Skip. Everybody else is playing zone.
Somebody blew it badly, but it's possible he blew it also because how could he know what the defense is after 2 practices?
But Skip, he's been in that defense his whole career.
Okay, but this is a little nuanced. It's a little bit new, and he hasn't played all year long. And you throw him in, and that's the key play of the game because that breaks it open. They go right into score, and now it's 17-6. But my quarterback hangs in, and if I could see the throw my quarterback made on 4th and 9 at the 46, this was just sheer guts. This is to Randall Cobb. This is the best throw of the game by Dak Prescott. Way to go. Way to go. That's all guts on both the parts of Dak Prescott and Randall Cobb because it saves the game and it allows them to kick the 17-9 field goal. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-score game. We still got a chance. And now that leads me to the final 2 series of the game. Guess who was in and out of the game for my Dallas Cowboys? A guy who, about midseason this year, Pro Football Focus ranked as the #1 receiver in all of pro football. The guy that I credited last year to turning around the whole season. I credited Jerry Jones with fleecing the Oakland Raiders and John Gruden for Amari Cooper by giving only a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. Guess what? Today, John Gruden looks right. He looks smart. Way to go, John. You fleeced Jerry Jones because I cannot explain what happened to Amari Cooper this year. I can't explain why he was waving out in the last 2 series. What are you doing? You're waving out. You're not on the injury report. I realize he's had a heel and he's had an ankle and he's had a knee and he's had this and that. I don't know any of them, but they weren't on the injury report. He practiced.
His body language tells me that he's a guy hurt.
Okay.
Watching him play, that's a guy that's injured. Skip, but you're not being forthcoming.
Okay, I'm not finished yet.
Skip,
you gave me the floor.
No, Skip, right? You can't take the whole segment.
Well, I'm not even finished. I said, are you finished?
Well, you want to just skip the show? You talked for 10 minutes.
Okay, it doesn't matter. You often talk for 20 minutes, and you gave me the floor, and I'm going to finish.
For you to make a point so I can rebut it.
So Amari Cooper played only 46 snaps to Michael Gallup's 56. So at least 10 times on 10 key plays, Amari is just standing with a long face on the sideline like he just lost his puppy. That's what he looked like to me. Are you kidding me? And yet Dak Prescott comes back in the final drive, and he did miss Tavon on 1, but he made a bunch of big throws on the last drive, including a really good throw to Michael Gallup at the end of the game. And yet that throw has to me, where's Amari Cooper? That's got to be an Amari play. That's what it was all the way home last year. He would have thrown that ball to Amari Cooper, and there's no Amari in the game. Here's the last throw, and it's a good one, but it's Michael Gallup. Now, maybe if it's that Michael down in New Orleans, maybe he goes up and snatches that one, but it's Michael Gallup. And by the way, Sidney Jones is a really good player, and don't tell me he's a backup because he was going to be a first-round pick. Remember, he tore his Achilles tendon at his pro day, and he fell to the 2nd round, so don't tell me he can't play because he was a stud at Washington, and he made a better play than the throw was.
The biggest decision that they made is that when Michael Gallup caught that first 40-yarder, what did they do to Darby? They benched him. They took him out of the game. Doug Peterson has that kind of control, which your quarterback doesn't. Now, another thing, you said great players do not come out. That is not true. Yes, they do. Great players have the leeway. Mike Shanahan told us, and I've been on other staffs and other coaches say, I want you to go 100%. Yeah. If you can't go 100%, you touch your helmet, you come out of the game, we'll put somebody else in.
Guess who doesn't touch their helmet? Great players don't touch their helmet.
Listen.
Jerry Rice does not touch his helmet ever.
He did. Skip,
ever.
But, Skip, if you look at the play, Zeke got dinged. His head hit, and the guy...
Stop it. He didn't even go in the tent.
It doesn't matter whether he went in the tent.
Baloney.
Well, guess
Baloney.
What?
Didn't come right back in the next play.
Your guy played, so don't make excuses about no playing-killing shots. He didn't go in the tent during the game, so his shoulder was no issue. But this is what I want you to understand right here. The Cowboys, after the Eagles scored, on 3 of the Eagles scoring drive, the Cowboys 3 drives after the Eagles scored, 3 and out, Jenny, all 3 times. Dak Prescott got a chance to answer. This is why he didn't make the Pro Bowl, because they say you put up big stats against bums and you're so far behind against good teams, you're getting trash yards. He had an opportunity yesterday with his whole compilation of stars, and he did nothing.
Compilation? the key moments of the game, there's no Zeke and no Amari.
Hold on. Was Amari at the game? Was Zeke at the game? But see, what happened was, Skip Bayless, you went in the game. Let me know my jacket.
Was Amari at the game? I'm not sure.
What happened is, Skip.
Amari there? I got to look at my stats.
What happened is. What happened?
Oh, wait, they threw 12 balls to him. He caught 4.
What happened is that you want this to be a passing team. And now you look at the Eagles secondary that has been decimated. And you see Fitzpatrick throw for 300. Case Keenum, 393. Yeah. Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers throw for 400. Everybody's throwing the ball up and down the yard. Oh, you remember, Skip Bayless? You remember when they played him the first time, Jenny? I don't know if you remember this. You remember Amari and Dak? Easy money. They on the sideline yucking it up. Easy money. What's that easy money when you needed it yesterday, Skip?
I saw 6 drops yesterday, and can we see the biggest drop of the game by Michael Gallup, who oftentimes this year has led the NFL in drops. The Cowboys have often led the NFL. They've gone from 1 to 2, 2 to 1. Can we see this play? Is this not a good throw? Would you say this is a good throw? Michael Gallup, catch the ball. If he catches it, he might score. We might be having a different conversation right now. 6 times they dropped the ball. Jason Witten, the guy you can outrun, had a huge drop in the first half. It was one thing after another. I'm sick and tired of watching my team make loser mistakes because that's all they do. They have little to no pass rush. They sacked Wentz one time, and it was on a kind of a coverage sack where he got sacked after he got to within a yard of the line of scrimmage. They touched him 3 times. Okay, there's little to no pass rush. It's not enough. It's just not. It's underachievement.
Okay, they had
everywhere.
6 drops. How many bad throws did Dak have?
Probably 4 or 5, I would say.
I think he had as many bad throws as they had drops.
You ever tried to throw a football after a quarter zone shot?
Whoa!
Have you ever tried? No, I don't think you have.
No.
I don't think you have.
No, we don't do excuses here, Skip Bayless.
You don't do quarterback.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I've never played quarterback, but I've got my shoulder. Hold on. His shoulder was so hurt on a 3rd down run, he dropped that right shoulder and lowered it. So how hurt was it?
You want to talk about warrior?
Warrior my butt.
Warrior play.
Warrior my butt.
That's a warrior play.
Skip Bayless.
You don't think that stung?
Whew. This is how this thing works. I don't know if you noticed this. Yeah, people talk about Stonewall Jackson. They talk about Robert E. Lee, but not nearly as much talk as Ulysses S. Jackson because they lost. You don't get to be a warrior and lose. You get to be a warrior and win, and he didn't win. And I told you they weren't going to win. I told you at the beginning of the year they weren't going to make the playoffs. I said, best case scenario, I said they'd be 8-8. I said if they're lucky, they'd be 9-7.
Yep.
But they're not going.
I know. And I remember when you predicted Dak Prescott's going to wreck his shoulder against the Rams.
Hold on.
I remember when you predicted that, and I congratulate you for that.
Time out.
That was brilliant. That was a seer.
So what was his shoulder like against Minnesota? What was it like against New Orleans? Was the shoulder wrecked then?
Boy, I'm glad you brought up Minnesota because he was on fire until they said, let's hand it to Zeke and throw it to Zeke, and I lost.
And Philly put water on that fire. Put him out.
Ooh, wow.
It's over.
So yesterday, Ezekiel Elliott on 1st down had 11 total touches and got 28 yards. It's just a killer for my quarterback. It's hard to overcome that, but they almost did. They won in spite of. And I got to say, I got to congratulate Miles Sanders because he dramatically outplayed my guy who makes $50 million guaranteed.
And Carson Wentz dramatically outplayed your quarterback.
He did not.
Yeah, bull jive.
Well, that's not what QBR says.
Yes, he did. Your guy had a 35.
Yeah, no, but your guy had a real average 61. We'll talk about that.
So if average is 61, so what's 35?
And we were never able to put any heat on him on the score.
Whoa.
And how about Amari Cooper? If you look at what he's done home and away, it's just pathetic because on the road, he's horrible. He doesn't even show up on the road.
Kind of like your quarterback. Your quarterback is horrible.
He shows up on the road.
Showed up what? Okay, New Orleans. Was that a road game?
Yeah.
You scored 10 points. What about New England? You scored 9 points. What about yesterday? You got 9 points. What about the Jets? You keep telling me about your quarterback and how good he is.
Played his tail off against the Jets.
Well, he ain't got no tail. He must be ain't got no tail, Jenny, because he been playing his tail off. He bobtail like a bobcat running right here because he got no tail. Skip Bayless, your quarterback is not good. Admit that. You keep
not good. He's all I got. He had a great year.
Well, you ain't got much.
He's fourth in the NFL. He's still 4th in the NFL in QBR.
No, he's 5th now.
Yeah, I think he's
4th.
No, he's 4th. I looked at him. He's 4th.
Hold on. He was 1st.
Yeah.
First.
Okay.
Made some drops.
I'm glad I ain't got no money invested in him. I'll lose my tail. Oh, but the little bit of tail that I do got left.
Yeah, but fourth in the league, that's pretty great.
No,
That's top 5 stats.
Whoa, Skip. He was
I'll
number
take
one.
that any
He was
day.
number one.
Yeah.
You remember when things were going
I
well?
got it. Okay, so he fell to fourth. He had a bad game at New England. He had a bad game at QBR game at Philly.
Had a bad game yesterday. Had a bad game in New Orleans. He keep having the bad game at the Jets.
Yeah.
He keep having these bad games, Skip, baby.
How was he all the way up at fourth if he had so many bad games? Help me out. His QBR at the Jets was extraordinary.
Skip, what happened is that he padded these stats against some bad teams early on. But you're starting to see, Skip, when the games are out of hand, yesterday was a perfect opportunity for Dak Prescott to show you and others what he's truly about. And what did he show you?
Dak is fourth in the NFL in QBR, and Carson Wentz is 10th. I'd say that screams that my quarterback's better than Carson Wentz.
My guy outplayed your guy head to head.
If you let him be healthy for a game, 100% healthy, and if you gave him Amari on the key plays of the game, and you gave him Ezekiel Elliott on the key plays of the game, like Wentz had Miles Sanders on all the key plays. And by the way, don't tell me about beat-up Eagles. Nobody has thrown it to the tight ends more all year than Carson Wentz has. And Dallas Goedert is really good, which is why my team was sitting right there to take him in the second round. And Philly, Howie Roseman traded one peg above them to snatch Dallas Goedert. Way to go.
Your problem is Jason Witten is stunning Connor Barwin's growth.
I agree. That's the first good point you made.
Skip. He's taking rep from this guy that he needs to be in there.
Totally agree. They threw one ball to Blake Jarwin, and it was a good one.
And look what he did. Look at the route that he ran.
Blake Jarwin got 19 snaps yesterday. Jason Witten got 49 snaps. So he played 30 more downs than
he got 49 meaningless snaps because he did nothing with those.
He did nothing.
No mercy.
Tom Brady led the Patriots on a fourth-quarter comeback against the Bills to win their 11th straight AFC East title. Brady had an efficient game, passing for nearly 300 yards with a touchdown and no picks. It was just the 5th game this season that the Patriots racked up over 400 total yards of offense. So, Shannon, did the Patriots finally fix their problems?
No. The success they had was based on their ability to run the football. Sonny Michel, Rex Burkhead, they did a great job of running the football, Skip, and Brady's success was our play action. 8 of 10, he was 8 of 10, 141 yards and a touchdown, 14 yards an attempt on play action. Only 6 yards, a little less than 6 yards on non-play action plays. So what that tells me, when they're able to run the football, now the defensive line, they can't rush like they normally could because they're going to be afraid of being gashed. They got to hold in there. Second of all, you play action, the linebackers got to step up. And so when they step up, now he's finding Myers, he's finding Edelman right behind where those guys would have been. So they did a great job. They did a lot better job running the football than I thought they would. I think they stuck with it. They committed to running the football. But this doesn't solve their offensive woes. And even with that being said, Skip, Josh Allen had an opportunity with about 2 minutes to go in the ball game. He missed a wide open Dawson Knox that could have got the game-tying touchdown. Now, we don't know if New England goes down the field, gets a touchdown, gets a game-winning field goal, but this is what we do know. They had an opportunity to really put some pressure and make Tom Brady execute in a 2-minute drive. Now, we've seen him execute those drives so many times before, especially in New England. But I would have loved to have seen that opportunity. But no, this does not fix, one game does not fix what ails the Patriots offense. I guess he got 3 new guys out of Dorchester because I didn't hear anything about the receivers. I didn't hear anything about Lacoste. I didn't hear anything about Edelman. I didn't hear anything about Myers or N'Keal Harry. You notice that, Jenny? When they win, Tom Brady is fixed. The moment they lose, look at those guys that he's throwing to. Tom Brady, next gen stat says his receivers have the least separation of anybody. You see how you do? You see what y'all do with that, Skip? I'm not going to let you do that. Look. They ran the football. They did an excellent job of running the football, which surprised me considering how stout Buffalo has been at stopping the run. Give those guys credit. But I'm telling you what I don't like, Skip. Josh Allen had some opportunity to take advantage of that defense, and he missed some throws. Now, I'm not so sure Lamar Jackson or some of these other teams, Pat Mahomes, will miss those throws. But I do not believe the woes that the Patriots have basically suffered all year long offensively has been cured in one game.
And I disagree. They fixed what ails them on offense, and he didn't do it with 3 guys from Dorchester. He actually did it with like 5 guys from Worcester. Do you know Worcester? It's way over on the other side of the state, right? So it's not even from the Boston area. That's how bad it was this time, because he lost his one and only go-to receiver, Julian Edelman, for about a quarter in the second half, and still survived. Still survived without him. Zach Ertz came back and was pretty good. But there's a Dallas Goedert, and there's an Arcega-Whiteside, and there's a Greg Ward Jr., and Tom Brady would light it up with those guys. You give him Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert, look out above, because here would come Tom Brady. But look out on Saturday. Tom Brady was Tom Brady on Saturday. That was vintage playoff Tom Brady. 42 going on 28. Stiff-arming Father Time and looking just like Tom Brady always looks about this time of year. And, yeah, he was a play-faking magician on play action. But he also, what'd you have him for, 114? Or
I had 141, 8 of 10.
Okay, well, he threw for 271 on 26 of 33. He was deadly accurate. He was quick with the ball, decisive with the ball, and threw it with velocity. That was Tom Brady. And again, they got some run game going.
Come on, Skip, stop that some run game.
Sony Michel had 96 yards, and Rex Burkhead is a closer, catching it and running it. All the biggest catches and runs were by Rex Burkhead. Could he even make another team in this league? I doubt it. But the New England Patriots know how to use him and use him at just the right times. And he was an unsung hero to what happened in the second half. Because remember, Tom Brady is going against the number 2 scoring defense in football. And he shredded that defense, which brings me to the other defense, the great Bill Belichick's vaunted defense. I'm not sure how far that defense can carry this team, because now what's broke on this team is the defense. To all your points, they were very lucky to survive on defense, not on offense, because I don't know, again, what was the final score, 24?
24-17.
Yeah, 24. I don't know how they scored 24 points, but on defense, my God, I thought Josh Allen had a chance to score more, and you're right, he missed Knox on the one play. Look at all the home runs that he threw. Even look at these gains. They had a 53-yarder for a touchdown, 33 went to Knox at one point, 28 went to Cole Beasley, who had 7 catches for 108 yards. And remember,
he missed Cole early on. He did. He was wide open.
He did. And the last throw to Cole Beasley was pretty great.
He might have mistimed his jump. He might have jumped bit.
But remember, Cole Beasley like 5'9", so how high can he jump?
He elevated.
Okay, he did the best he could, and it was a good throw under duress. Right. It was a good throw. So the point was that I'm looking at what's happened since week 9 to Belichick's vaunted defense. A lot of people were saying was historically great, and it was statistically through the first 8 weeks of the year. Starting with that Baltimore loss at Baltimore, they're 6th in points allowed. They're tied for 18th in the league in rush yards allowed, and all of a sudden, here came, look what they had, 92 more went to Buffalo. They're 25th in sacks, and they're now tied for 15th in interceptions. And guess what didn't happen on Saturday? The defense has carried this team much of the year, and it had 0 takeaways. 0 takeaways from Belichick's defense? And yet Edelman came back and just relit the fire, caught a 30-yarder as soon as he came back in. And then he caught the 2-point conversion pass, and it was like the good old days were back again.
Hey, Skip, on that long touchdown run to John Brown, I thought Devin McCourty got a little lax.
He did.
He's like, it was because he's supposed to be in a deep hole, and I think he saw, and he looked like he ran an out and up on Gilmore, and he's thinking, well, Stephon got this, and just for a second, he got careless. And then the next thing you know, Gilmore's like, hold on, you're supposed to be in the hole, and now John Brown's over the top of it. When you play defense, Skip, I understand that you're like, okay, that's that guy, and he's been doing an unbelievable job. But if you have a momentary lapse, this is what happens. And I'm sure this is what Coach Belichick, and I think this is what Coach Belichick is like. Win the ball game, but not play particularly well on a given side, because guess what? Now when I put that tape on, I get your undivided attention. Now, you do understand if that's Tyreek Hill, you do understand that could be Sammy Watkins, that could be Mecole Hardman. Now, we don't want to have that luxury. We don't want to have that fault, Aaron, because Skip, you play Mahomes or you play Lamar Jackson and you give up like that, they're going to really hurt you. Now, Lamar can run the football. We know what he can do, Skip. Mark Ingram goes out, And then Gus Edwards says, okay, it's my turn. Whoop.
Yep.
And then Hill said, it's my turn. And then Lamar was doing Lamar's things. Patriots better be careful. You don't want, and I agree with you, you're looking at what they've done since week 8.
Yeah.
The defense seems to be going this way.
It is.
And the thing is, the offense, and you say they're back, but they're not back to the point where they used to be skilled when they had Gronk, Edelman, and Amendola, and it didn't matter.
Given what they've been this year, that looked pretty good to me. That looked good enough to win a home playoff game.
Yes.
I don't know if it looked good enough to go away, wherever that is, probably Baltimore, and win that game.
But we haven't seen them, Skip, run the ball like this with this kind of commitment and this kind of success in a very long time.
Yeah.
Now, when you can run it like this, Tom Brady still has magic of hands. He still has sleight of hand.
He does.
He can fool you. He can double that thing up, and all of a sudden, he got the ball, and he's throwing the ball right to Edelman, right behind where you're supposed to have been.
Yep.
So it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm surprised. I am really surprised that the defense struggled because I thought Josh Allen, he threw for 208. But I thought he should have had 308 because he missed some throws.
He missed some throws. So what did I see from Lamar and company at Cleveland? Again, the Browns have been their nemesis. And for a long time in that game, it looked like it was Cleveland's game.
Yes.
Because Lamar didn't score his first points until 1:18 remained in the first half. But he scored wham-wham, bam-bam. Like, I've never seen, they go 2 plays and score, and then they get the ball back with like 50 seconds left, and they go score another touchdown.
Skip, I've never seen anybody to be able to run the football and can get the point. Skip, they're going to lead the league. They're going to lead the league in rushing and lead the league in scoring.
They are.
I've never seen a team. Normally, you see teams that lead the league in scoring. Peyton Manning, when they score 600 points, he's got 50 touchdown passing. Brady and Washington. But to be able to run the ball like this and to be able to, and Skip, because they can run it so well, you see how wide open Andrews is. You see how wide open these receivers are because we can't let Lamar. And next thing you know, you're like, Lamar, and then here's Mark Ingram running right up the gut, and he's getting 25. And then you let Andrews run down the seam. He made some throws yesterday, Skip. The guys were hanging on him, and he pumped it.
That one for a touchdown.
Yes.
He kind of threw it off his wrong foot, and didn't matter.
Yes.
To Mark Andrews.
This kid he's been.
It's
unbelievable. Well, it's unanimous, Skip. He's going to win. The question is not who's going to be number 2, but he's going to win the MVP unanimously.
I would think so.
He's going to win it. There's not even close. Nobody's close to him now.
All I can say is Belichick will put on the tape of most of the first half, and he'll say, aha, they missed on a 4th and 3, which they usually convert like clockwork. Right. And then they fumbled at the mesh point. That's the first time they've done that all year. And then they missed a 3rd down and a 3rd down, and it led to no points until 1:18 left in the first half. At least you see, they're human?
Yeah. Right.
They're human?
And he missed a wide. Andrews was really wide open.
Yeah,
he don't normally miss him that because they half rolled him a little bit, and so he had a clear line of vision to see Andrews. He was off a little early in the mesh point, but when they got it rolling, and that's the thing, when they get it rolling, they take 7 minutes and they put the ball in the end zone. It's not 7 minutes and they punt it away. They taking 7 minutes off the clock and they're in the end zone.
I have never seen anything like this.
No.
I also think if anybody can beat them at Baltimore, it would be Brady and Belichick.
Okay, fair.
How? I don't know. I just think they might be able to figure something out.
Right.
I'm not sure Brady and Belichick can beat Kansas City right now because they looked really potent last night.
The question is, Skip, if you believe that Coach Belichick and Tom can go to Baltimore and can beat them, you do know they're going to have to get to 30. They're going to have to get to 30 points.
I mean, unless the defense just plays some lights-out night and gets a couple of big turnovers.
And that's the thing. But to play that, you're going to have to play – if you play man coverage and you let that kid crease, it's over. If you play zone, now you give him lane. That's what they want you to play. They want you to be at a disadvantage in the box so they can run that zone read.
Yep. Hey, all I got to say about Kansas City last night is every time I look up, there's another stud receiver making another play because we know what
Tyreek and Sammy.
Tyreek and how about Kelsey? Yeah. He makes acrobatic catches. You can throw it. You want to talk about a catch radius? It's like 20 feet any direction. He'll go up. He'll go sideways. He's got the best hands of any tight end as far as making acrobatic catches.
Yeah.
And the speed on that team with Mecole Hardman, it's
Robinson,
like, it's outrageous.
I mean, think of when you look at it, Sammy Watkins is their slowest receiver, and he ran 4.41, 4.43 at the combine.
That's not that slow.
And their defense is starting to play.
Yeah.
I know it was Mitchell Trubisky, but my team made
Skip,
Mitchell
the thing
Trubisky
that scares me is that they do dumb things at the most inopportune times. You saw Frank Clark jump off the sides twice. You saw Chris Jones hit the Skip. If you give Tom Brady extra cracks, if you get him off on third, you got an opportunity to get off the field on third down. You won. Don't put him back out there. Because remember what happened. Chicago had stopped them on third down. And what do they do? Run into the punter. Now you give Mahomes the opportunity to get back on the field. And what do he do? Go right down the field and get a touchdown on you. You can't do that.
I like the confidence from Mahomes as well.
You think right?
Counting it out.
He's counting.
He went before me again.
Trubisky. They're never going to get over this, Skip, because you traded up to take Trubisky when you could have traded down and got Mahomes or Deshaun Watson.
I didn't even think he needed to count. It's like rubbing it in.
Yeah,
everybody gets it.
Yeah.
Like it's.
But it's not in his. That's not really his personality.
He went 2, and I went 3, 4, 5.
Well, it was good. I mean, we all noticed it. He's been waiting to do that.
I tell you what, Skip Bayless,
bit.
you know, your guy up in Foxborough, he knows every quarterback that got drafted before him. From Spurgeon Wynn to
that's a lot of quarterbacks.
To Giovanni.
All you have to do is count the 10.
Keep on going.
No mercy.
The season for the Cowboys, well, it may have come to an end with their loss to the Eagles yesterday. While their playoff hopes are still alive, they no longer control their own destiny. It has been an up-and-down season for Dallas that has included a 3-0 start, but has also included 2 separate 3-game losing streaks. And after the loss to Philly, Jason Garrett made sure to point out there was plenty of blame to go around. Take a listen to this.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the job done, and we all have to own it. I have to own it. The coaching staff has to own it. All the players and staff members have to own it and give the Eagles credit. And now we have to go forward. Unfortunately, we don't control our destiny anymore, but we do control our opportunity next week against Washington.
Well, Shannon, who is to blame for the Cowboys' 7-8 record?
Well, I agree with Jason. There's enough blame to go around, but I'm going to put this on Jerry because Jerry wants all the credit. You know, he signed all the players, Skip, and all these coaches.
He always says, the buck stops here.
The buck stop here. All the coaches, the Chris Richards, and giving the young guy, Kellen Moore, the OC's job. Okay, so it starts with you. See, Skip, he creates this expectations. When you start saying this team is as talented as those Super Bowl, Skip, you were around there, you covered you was in that locker room every single day. You know what they represented. They got 2 guys on that roster, I think 3 guys, that were all in the 100th anniversary of the All-NFL team. Larry Allen, Emmitt Smith, and Dion. So you know how much talent was around there. A 3-time winner and Super Bowl winner in Troy. Michael Irvin, Charles Haley won 5 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. So you know the talent level that was around there. And Jerry says this team is as talented. So that's it. And so now Cowboys fans, they hang on everything Jerry says. Even Skip, it's going to be a beautiful day, even though it's pouring outside. Or Jerry's gloom and doom, and sunshine and 75 degrees, and Jerry says it's bad, and so the Cowboys fans hang on everything Jerry says. Skip, but he's paid some guys that have not even come close to living up to expectations.
Agree.
I want to go to the defensive side. DeMarcus Lawrence hadn't lived up to the highest paid player in Cowboys history. Jalen Smith?
Nope.
Skip, he's not playing like that guy that played last year.
Agreed.
Nobody, secondary, Byron Jones, those guys that were flying around making plays, Skip, I don't see that. That offensive line, Skip, they hit and miss.
Hit and miss.
They got 3 guys that's going to All-Pro and maybe a couple of them going to probably be Hall of Famers. But, Skip, night in and game out, I don't see the consistency. The one thing that you can say about that offensive line in the 90s, boy, they brought them lunch pails every week. If you beat that team, Skip, you know you had your work. You did a heck of a job.
Wow.
You did a heck of a job because, boy, Nate Newton and Stepnowski and Tournay and those Big Easy, Gogan, Skip, they were moving folks. This team here, man, I'm looking at them, and I told you, Skip, they're front runners. When things start going good, man, they move people out the way. And I said if the Eagles could just get this game to the 4th quarter, Skip, and keep that pressure on them, and sure enough, everything worked out to a draw. So I'm gonna give, and people are like, well, you're not gonna say anything about Jason? No. Because last week, there were 2 key players. Sean Lee and Dak Prescott said this was as good a pep talk as Jason Garrett has ever said. And everybody said it didn't mean nothing. They won in spite of him. So you win in spite of a guy, but you lose because of that very said guy. Nah, Jerry Jones owned this one.
Well said. I pretty much agree with everything you just said because it's hard for any football team, especially the 2019 Dallas Cowboys, to overcome owner/GM Jerry Jones. That's
VP.
hard to overcome. His post-game press conferences are more entertaining than they are during the game. They're more watchable. And it was breaking news last night that Jerry spoke for only 2 minutes and 3 seconds. The media timed it, 2:03. And he walked away, and they chased him all the way up the tunnel toward the buses. They chased him.
And remember, the plane broke down, Skip,
Yeah.
so they had to sit on the bus. They were
Till
delayed.
11 o'clock, they were delayed,
Nice.
which was kind of the fitting.
I mean, you steward. I mean, you done caught an L.
Yeah.
And everybody on pins and needles, nobody's talking, Skip. Because you know when you lose, it's all quiet. You've been on those buses. You know when you lose, everybody afraid to talk. So you just got to sit there.
Well, back in the days that I was covering the teams that you talked about back in the 90s, they might smuggle on a little
Something special?
little this and that.
yeah.
And
Is that allowed after a loss?
I don't know. I don't know if it's allowed or not, but for their sake, I hope they did last night. It was probably gone quickly, whatever it was, while they sat on the runway waiting to take off. But I blame Jerry Jones the most for keeping Jason Garrett afloat. And again, I'm not being 20/20 hindsight. I'm not being a hypocrite. I called for this man's job after his second full season, which was 2012.
Okay.
He had gone 8-8 for a second straight year. First full season was 2011. Remember, he finished 5-3 in place of Wade Phillips down the stretch. But his first full year, 2011, what happened? They were 7-4 entering December, and they lost 4 of their last 5, including a division-deciding game.
Right.
That one was to the Giants. 2012, they were 8-6 with 2 games left. They lost both, including a division-deciding game. And I said, enough is enough. I know Jason. I covered Jason. He's too vanilla. He has no motivational charisma to him. He creates zero fear factor in the football team, the way Mike Shanahan did with you guys, because you were afraid of him.
Absolutely.
You knew he would send your tail home.
Absolutely.
He would cut it loose.
Yes.
Jimmy Johnson would cut you. If he didn't like the way you responded to him or to a situation in a football game, you'd just be gone.
Yeah.
And they all knew it.
Yep.
Not Jason Garrett, because everybody knows he's just Jerry's puppet.
Right.
So there's no fear of failure. There's no, oh my God, if I fumble, if I screw up, if I jump off sides, if I line up in the neutral zone, he's liable to cut my you-know-what, right?
Yep.
But you don't have that now. So what did we have to watch this year? This team was favored in every game except the New England game. Think about that. They were favored in every game, and these are the games they lost in order as favorites: at Saints, Packers, at Jets, Vikings, at Patriots, Bills on Thanksgiving, at Bears, and then yesterday at Eagles. They lost every one of those games except the Patriots, in which they were favored. And in most of those games, they came out, to my eyes, flat and lifeless. They came out without fire, without emotion. You could just see it in the Eagles yesterday. They were ready to play from the opening. Just the first snap, you could just see it. And Doug Peterson talked about it after the game, and he said, in every one of our meetings, all of our leaders stepped up, Fletcher Cox and all, you can go right down the line. Yeah, all of them, Jenkins. They stepped up and said, this is personal with that team. Well, did my team look like it was personal yesterday? Right. No, it was just another walk in the park to my team.
But you said something very interesting. You said, you mentioned Mike Shanahan, my former coach at Denver, and Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells. Has Jerry ever empowered Jason to be able to have that kind of control?
Probably not. I mean, Jason could have tried to assume that kind of control, but it's like when I just unleashed on Zeke and Amari for waving out a game. Sometimes it's up to the head coach to say no, just say no. But he doesn't seem to have any power. Right. You just tell him no, get back in there. You're okay.
Here's the thing: it's kind of like a parenting situation. If one parent says no, you can't do it, and the child goes to the other parent and the parent says yes, you can do it, and the child does it. He just script whomever the parent that gave the okay after one parent said no has just taken the lion's share of the power away from one of the parents. So that's what Jerry has done to Jason Garrett. Because the players know, Skip, no matter what Jason tells them, I can go to Jerry, and Jerry will probably more than likely veto what you told me. So why am I going to listen to you?
Okay, I got it. Correct. Now, what 2 games did my team come out with fire in its eyes? the October 27th night home game against the Eagles. Why was that? Because Dougie P, as I call him, Dougie Prediction, he virtually guaranteed a victory at Jerry World. That's all they needed, because it needs to be external motivation, because it's not going to come from Jason Garrett. Then what happened before the Rams game, which was their other game that they came out ready to play? The whole week, they got shamed in the locker room because the point spread was plunging because they had been so dreadful at Chicago. Remember, the point spread opened at Cowboys by 3.5, and it plunged all the way down to Rams by 2 at Jerry World, and they had to hear this all week. And they had to hear that they had an NFL game high 19 missed tackles at Chicago. They needed external shame to finally say, oh, okay, watch this. And then last week, they had no shame. They were the favorite. It fell a little bit because of Dak's injury, but they went in as the favorite, and they played like the fat cat favorite.
Skip, but also, now you got to look at your quarterback, because this year, can you tell me the game that he won that he wasn't supposed to win?
I agree with you, because he led the whole NFL in game-winning drives over his first 3 years, and he was not able to make the play at the moments. He made a whole lot of plays, but not the play to win the game to get them over the hump. But now we get back to Ezekiel Elliott, and we went through the whole camp holdout, and we talked about it day after day after day on this show, and you said, pay the man, right? And they gave him $90 million, $50 million guaranteed dollars. I have not seen him run as hard as he used to. It's just my eye test is telling me he has not run with the authority and the fury he used to, except against the Rams. I saw it against the Rams. I did not see it out of the box yesterday. He looked more like he was running in Cabo sand. Sometimes Jerry Jones overpays for all these guys, DeMarcus Lawrence, offensive line, Ezekiel Elliott, and he doesn't get nearly the bang for his buck that he deserves committing this much cap money to these players.
But, Skip, I mean, a quarterback, your quarterback is what you said. He can't have 9 points against the Pats. He can't have 10 against the Saints. He can't have 9 points yesterday. That's unacceptable.
Okay, well, it's unacceptable for the running back 5 of the last, what are we up to? 6 of the last 7 games to be under 100 yards.
Whoa, hold on. Just last week, Jenny, somebody told me the guy that you call Shannon, you call Mike Pollard, gave you some pop. Now you don't want him in the game. He just went 400. Now you don't want him in the game.
I want him shockingly in the game when he's not expecting it, when they're on a roll because of number 21, and suddenly it's cold in Philly, and you say, go in for Zeke. What?
What you mean cold?
Going in?
Whoa.
Because all the plays against the Rams, you knew they were coming. They had prepped for it. That was all in the strategy.
So guess what? Guess what's going to happen today? He's going to go up to he expecting a check. Jenny, you think he expecting a check today? So he going to take it. He maybe got direct deposit, but I used to go upstairs.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So he ain't expecting a check, but he ain't expecting to get in the game. Skip Bayless. No, he had 100 yards. This is my thunder and lightning. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard.
So Zeke fell to 4th this year in rushing so far, which is, it's not $50 million guaranteed worth of production. And guess what? On first downs this year, he's fallen to 20th among all qualified running backs on first down yards per touch. Yards per touch. 20th.
Let me ask you a question.
It's hard to win that way. It's hard for the quarterback to win that way.
How much you think Christian McCaffrey's going to get? Because he's about to go 1,000 and 1,000. He's already at 105 with 105, 107 catches. What do you think he's going to get?
Didn't help Carolina much.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. No. But he's going to get. No. Can you imagine? I mean, he's putting up those numbers with those quarterbacks. Oh, what do you think Chubb's going to get? Chubb's about to get paid. Derrick Henry's about to get paid. Skip, you're going to have to pay.
I'll bet some of those teams might just say no because they're seeing what happened to Zeke and what's happening to Todd Gurley. Just not there. It's not enough.
Gurley,
not enough.
Contract doesn't really.
Well, your quarterback. And look at those teams' quarterback.
My quarterback makes like $400,000.
But he's not about to make $400,000. He's about to make 20 times $400,000.
Trying to get that done all year.
You keep telling me you got to pay that man.
You got to pay him.
Now you're telling me don't pay that.
Pay him. No, you got to pay him. Skip. Dak was in a situation, Skip, he couldn't lose. He knows if he finished the season healthy, he's going to get bare minimum $30 million. Dak says, "Why? If I will get bare minimum $30 million, I might as well reach for the stars and try to get 36 to 40. He's going to get Jared's going to have to pay him, Skip. There's no other way around it, and you know it.
I think he's lost some leverage.
Well, Dak is also saying that sprained right shoulder, not to blame.
Not to blame. That's what he said, Skip.
Well, he did
not
say
to blame.
It was no good, not practice.
Exactly.
No mercy.
Dak Prescott was limited all week in practice with a shoulder injury, but was still able to play against the Eagles with what appeared to be no limitations. Dak completed 25 passes on 44 attempts for 265 yards with no touchdowns or interceptions. Dak admitted a few throws got away from him and that his last throw of the game should have been a touchdown if he hadn't underthrown Michael Gallup. So, Shannon, what letter grade would you give Dak for his performance yesterday?
F. Shocking. I'm just trying to figure out, should I get B, should I be F minus, minus.
Really? Just F.
Yeah.
Fail.
Okay. Oh, just fail?
Yeah, they don't do minus.
Okay, my bad.
Although you did that last week.
Yeah, you sure did.
I gave an F plus.
I know.
Was it an F plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you get minus. I'm just trying to figure out, a guy that's fourth in the league in QBR.
Actually, you were right. It was fifth. I looked and they just updated it before the show. You got me. Yep.
That's what I do.
So the numbers have.
What you think, Steven? Skip. What do you think?
He's fifth to Wentz's 10th in overall average QBR for the year.
Yeah. Me and Steve up late at night.
Yep.
While you in the bed sleeping, me and Steve on the phone talking, hashing this out. Steve O is my top chief research.
Yeah, all I'm doing is prepping. I don't need that. I just prep myself.
Oh, no, I need it.
Yeah.
No, don't try to shortchange me where I need it. That's why we be busting you up. 2 is better than 1. That's why we hit you with the 1-2 piece. But anyway, Skip Bayless. Now, this is your quarterback. This is Skip Bayless' quarterback. He always emphasizes my quarterback. Dak Prescott's your guy, right, Skip? Okay, I'm glad you said that. Your guy at the Saints, 10 points.
Wait, I thought they were doing letter grade for yesterday.
I'm just telling.
What are we doing?
I'm just telling you.
Well, you're just killing time. This is like ball control.
No ball control. No. I'm gonna be quick with this because he got an F. He had 60 minutes yesterday to not get a better grade than this. 9 points. Now your quarterback keeps coming up small in the most important of situations. I just need to know why. Now, I'm not talking about throwing for 400 yards against the Dolphins or the Giants with Eli or Washington. I know I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why in these situations, if he's the guy that you said he is. Now,
you see him against the Rams? Whew.
See?
Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw. I also saw him against the Saints.
Yep.
Saw him against New England. Saw him against the Pikes. Yeah, I saw all that. I see everything.
I did too.
Yeah, Skip, I see everything. That's these glasses. Give me 2013. They call me Snake Eye. I see everything. But anyway, Skip, baby, look, you guys had a huge advantage, Skip. Pro Football Focus still say y'all the most talented football team. That's what Pro Football Focus said, right? You looked that up this morning? That's what they said. Cowboys still the most talented.
They haven't updated that, but they will.
Hold on. You got Amari, you got Gallup, you got Cobb, you got one of the best offensive lines in football. You got Jason Witten, you got Blake Jarwin. Eagles offensive line out without Lane Johnson. You know, we down. I mean, they put up a stat yesterday. I did not know this. Did you know Greg Ward had been cut from the last 3 training camps for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, I did. I told you that last week. And they kept him. Because what did Dougie P say last week? We kept trying to find a place for him, but we had Aguilar and we had Alshon, and he was so good but we couldn't find a spot.
Interesting.
And guess what? He's better than Nelson Aguilar ever thought about being. So upgrade, way to go! Congratulations, Philly. You lucked into that.
Okay,
one.
so is Ward Jr. is he better than Amari, Gallup, and Cobb? Because that's who your quarterback had.
Boy, he's better than Amari. When Amari's standing on the sideline looking like he just
don't do that, Skip. Skip, look. All I remember is last time, and NFL Films picked it up. You remember Amari and Dak was on the sideline. Skip, what did they say? Easy money. That's what they did. Easy money.
That was at home against the Eagles, right?
But Skip, why are you surprised? Amari has always been, Skip, this is Amari Cooper. He will go for 200, he go for 175 in 2 games, and then the next 4 games, he might have 100 yards total. That's been his whole career. So you acted like he's been something in Dallas that he wasn't in the Raiders.
This is new. He's always been pretty good on the road. Every receiver might fall off a little bit on the road, but he's played 7 home games and caught 48 balls. He's now played 8 away games and caught 27. 48 to 27 in 1 fewer game on the at home.
No, but I'm saying
48 to 27.
No, but I'm saying
that's horrendously
the
bad.
Inconsistency in which he's shown, be it home or road, over the course of his career, is that he have these tremendous highs. And you says Amari Cooper is a top 5 receiver, and then you need a magnifying glass to try and find him because he disappears. But there's no way around this. We can put it about the offensive line. We can make it about Zeke, which you would do. But this is about your quarterback. He gets an F because of what he had yesterday and why talent evaluators will constantly say, my guy, walk it to him, is the best quarterback in the NFC East. And don't look now, old Danny Dimes coming. Old Danny Dimes.
Sure about that?
What about him?
He coming. He's going to be number 2.
Number 2 in the league?
And number 2 in the NFC East.
I got it. Okay, you could be right. Hope he is this coming Sunday.
I bet, look at that. Look at you. Look at you.
Always root.
You always root. You got a vested interest.
I'll just let that cat out of the bag. The Eagles will win that game by 3 touchdowns.
No, they won't.
No, they won't. They will.
No,
they will win it by 3.
Stop it.
It might be 4 touchdowns.
Stop it. We already know.
I would give you like 24 points, and they'll win by it. Yep, they will.
Nope.
So I'm going to be objective and give my quarterback a B for his effort yesterday because it was a warrior effort. It was all-time guts and a little bit of glory and should have had a little bit more at the end of the game if not for a drop by Michael Gallup. And speaking of Michael Gallup, they dropped 6 balls on my quarterback yesterday and you gave him an F. Man, can you give the receivers like an F? Maybe
he had 10 overthrows.
Interesting. So I want to remind everybody, my quarterback could not practice a single snap of passing practice yesterday, or last week. All last week. Didn't have a single snap to throw the football last week in practice. Needed a cortisone shot in his banged-up shoulder and needed pain-killing shots before the game and during halftime yesterday. It's just not pleasant. It's not easy to throw the football consistently. So the truth is, I thought he threw it better than I expected him to. I thought it would be all over the lot.
He looked the same to me.
Yeah.
He looked the same to me. I didn't even know anything was wrong with him, Jenny.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't. So he did obviously miss Tavon late in the game, and that was just an overthrow and it's just a bad throw. It happens, but he missed it.
Okay.
And he did throw high to Amari on that 1 3rd down play, but I saw Eagles receivers going up, snatching those balls all day long. All Carson Wentz does is throw high to Goddard and Zach. They just go up and snatch it like 12 feet in the air.
The play that you're talking about with Amari, that's the very play that Dak threw him last week against the Rams, remember? And he went, that's the only play that he caught. Skip, Amari is hurt. Amari is hurt more than what they're leading on.
I think he's hurt psychologically. No, I do. And he's waving out, and Zeke is waving out in the key moment of the game, and my quarterback has to overcome that. And the very first throw that Dak tried to throw upfield, he had Gallup with a step on Darby, as you talked about, and the ball was a little bit late, and I thought, well, that's probably all he's got to get it there, but he did get it there for 41 yards, and at least that got them to their first field goal. So now let's look at all the throws that my quarterback did make. What happened at the end of the half when it was 10-3, and suddenly he started to get it worked out where he starts to understand, oh, if I throw it from this arm angle, it doesn't hurt so bad. So here we go with 1. That's a pretty good throw. That had some mustard on it. And 2, there's another one, not bad. And let's go with another one. This is the end of the half drive. Not a little behind Gallup, but at least he caught that one. Not bad. And then there's one more to Jason Witten to set up a short field goal. And he threw it pretty well. Jason Witten, who finally caught one because he had dropped the one before that. Way to go. And that's a field goal. So he starts to get warmed up. And then comes that drive out of halftime in which Zeke waves out. And it just took the complete heart out of my team. But they hung in. And finally, at the end of the game, my quarterback got the ball back, and I said he missed the throw to Tavon. But let's look at the final drive, that last-ditch drive of the game, and let's look at what my quarterback did beyond the Tavon throw. Here's the first throw. This is 1st and 10 from the 12. That's to Randall Cobb. And remember, field position is awful as usual, so that's a nice throw. There's another one to Randall Cobb. That'll work. You know, that'll work. That had some mustard on it. And here's another one to, oh, wait a second. This is the one to Gallup. Was that a good throw?
Yeah.
Oh, he gets an F for that throw, I guess? I guess so. And then he comes right back to Randall Cobb again. He's just throwing rifle shots.
Hold up, Skip.
Wow, look at this.
Skip.
Look at this. And there's another one to
Skip.
Amari for a first down, third down.
But what you didn't tell the people.
Here's Amari, another one for another good game.
But what you didn't tell the people, Skip, those two of those field goals that they got, Jenny.
And this is the last throw to Gallup. And again, could he have gotten it a little bit up?
Yeah, he could have. That's what he should have done.
But hold on. I thought it was a really good throw. I thought it was a better defensive play by Sidney Jones. He just made a really nice play, got his hand on the ball.
But what you didn't tell the people, Skip, that on two of their 3 scoring drives, what happened? The Eagles had missed a field goal. So the Cowboys got a short field.
Yeah,
so for them
field goals, but they tried one from 53 and 55. He can't. That's out of his range.
Short
Predictable.
field. So guess what? So the Cowboys got to come on the field and go a short field.
Guess who was dead last in field position the whole year, including yesterday? My Dallas Cowboys. Yes. Dead last in the NFL. My quarterback was up against that all year. And what happened on the final drive? Guess what happened? Carson Wentz predictably finally fumbled when he had the ball the last time. Yeah. And what happened? It was not meant to be. It wasn't our day. It was his day because the ball dropped and came right back up under him, and he could fall right on it, right?
Skip, did you see that second down throw? He almost overthrew Dallas Goedert because he's like, do I run or do I throw it?
Okay.
And the ball, if Dallas Goedert is not 6'5", 6'6",
okay,
that's an incomplete.
Okay, but do you realize if the fumble is obviously recovered by Dallas, it's a whole different story. But if he doesn't recover the fumble, then we get the ball right there. Guess what? He got to punt. They got to punt it and punted us all the way down to the 12. So that last-ditch drive, it starts on the 12-yard line.
Hold on,
Dak lives at the 12-yard line.
Hold on. If Dak's that dude.
Yeah, well, he's been that dude all year.
When?
Remember against Minnesota? He goes from the 6 all the way to the 11.
Skip,
and they took the ball out of his hand?
I'm looking at you lost Minnesota. You lost Saints, Eagles, Jets, Bears, Pat. So what am I looking at? Why am I looking at the Minnesota game again?
In those games. Remember the Green Bay game?
Y'all lost.
He threw in the second half 323 yards.
Again, you see what you're down 31. You're down 31.
Hard. It's hard. Not many humans can throw for 323 and a half.
He had an opportunity. You know what, Skip? He had an opportunity. Now, all he had to do yesterday was win that game and be outstanding. And then he can say, see, that's why y'all should have put me in the Pro Bowl.
I just showed you a whole bunch of throws. What did I probably show you? 15 throws that he did make, and you gave him an F.
But I didn't see the
You gave him an F.
I didn't see the Tavon throw. I didn't see the...
I told you.
No, I didn't. No, don't tell me about it. Show me. I need you to show me that one of Gallup that would have hit his head on the goalpost had he not thrown it behind him.
All I care is the one that Gallup
right
there,
hold on.
dropped it.
I remember. Hold on.
You gave my quarterback an F when he threw what should have been the game-tying touchdown pass. You gave him an F.
And we're going to go
That's
to break.
good. I love that.
Gene, I know we're up against the clock, and I'm going to let you go to break after
Way to go.
The very same play. You remember when walking to him, hit Aguilar on the very same play against New England. As bad as he played all game, he had Aguilar had a play just like that in the end zone. And you say that was a terrible throw, and Wentz got to do a better job. But now you up here talking about Gallup got to make a catch.
I didn't say it was a terrible throw. I just said that it was a hard catch.
No, that was a hard catch.
He had to look
That was a hard catch. That was a hard catch.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Finish this off. An F and a B. That's just how we're doing it.
No mercy.
So he was listed with a rib injury and a nagging groin injury. LeBron James missed his first game of the season last night. LeBron's absence was noticeable as the Nuggets had no problem taking down the Lakers 128-104. Only 2 Lakers reached double digits. And after the game, Kyle Kuzma said, quote, "It's kind of hard to next man up LeBron." I can agree with him there. Shannon, are you buying that LeBron is really hurt?
Yeah. He said last week, if I'm healthy, I'm playing. Clearly, he's not healthy. You talk about nagging groin injuries. Now, Jenny, I don't know if you noticed this. Pascal Siakam's going to miss a month because of a groin injury. He's 25.
Wow.
Did you see what happened to the Golden State? That they went to 5 straight finals. The wheels fell off. Steph Curry, not playing. Klay Thompson, not playing. Kevin Durant, not playing. My guy went to 8 straight. And the only thing he had a freak injury with a groin. After 8 straight finals, they go to 5 and the wheels fall completely off. The man says, if I'm healthy, I'm playing. LeBron James is not going to, after saying that, because he knows. LeBron knows.
Well, no.
He has to go everything, because it's almost like he must prep before he comes out and go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. He says because there are certain people, won't call no name, Skip Bayless, is just going to nitpick everything that I say. So I just got to make sure everything, my I's are dotted, my T's are crossed, and punctuation is where it's supposed to be. He said, if I'm healthy, I'm going to play. He's going to err, as they should, on the side of caution. Skip Bayless told me the game of the season don't even really start till after Christmas.
Coming up.
What the day is, Skip? Is the day Christmas? Okay, then.
You're getting close.
So, yes, I believe LeBron is a situation that playing the major because they played a lot of back-to-backs, and I think 12 of the last 15 games have been on the road. So he took some time off. Now he hadn't played since Friday night, so he gets Thursday night, play Thursday night. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So he get about 5 days. He'd be good to go. It'd be good to go on crib a day. So, yes,
really?
I'm buying that LeBron James is nicked up, and they're going to err on the side of caution.
Hypocrite. That's what your man is a hypocrite. He has been calling out Kawhi Leonard every chance he gets.
Never care about Kawhi.
I don't load manage. It's all directed at Kawhi because he's threatened by all the New Balance ads. This is Kawhi's town. Yep, you got it.
New Balance.
And I have told you all year long, he's playing a dangerous game. He's playing way too high a minutes for year 17. He's playing way too many fourth quarter minutes against bad teams trying to stat pad.
No, they're trying to win the games.
Big minutes against the Atlanta Hawks, playing the whole fourth quarter, and he still is at the top of the league in shots taken in the fourth quarter because he needs to pad those stats.
No, they need to win.
It's a dangerous game that he's playing. And so now I have to sit and sift through all the phony baloney being propagated by members of his inner circle because they're telling the media, oh, he's got a rib cage pull. Baloney. I'm not buying it. And he had it against Indiana. Baloney. He looked just fine against Indiana, and then he looked really good against Milwaukee, but they said he toughed it out and gutted it out and played with it through the Milwaukee game. 21, 12, and 11. I don't know. He must be superhuman.
But you said LeBron James is supposed to be averaging those numbers all the time. He wake out of bed with a triple, get out of bed and do a triple-double.
Yeah, well, and now I have to hear, oh, he's got a nagging groin injury. Well, obviously, the groin last year knocked him out, what was it, a couple of months? So he's going to suck it up and play on Christmas Day with a ribcage pull and a groin that's still nagging.
They didn't say it was pulled. They said it's bothering him.
Oh, they said nagging.
Yeah,
nagging. Boy,
I get that sometimes.
Yeah, nagging.
Yeah, I got a nagging muscle pull called Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
What's joke here?
All I know is now they're saying he'll be just fine on Wednesday. He load managed.
No, he
and
didn't.
Guess what? I have zero problem with it. He should load manage ahead of such a big Christmas day.
It ain't no big
You'd
game.
almost admit it. You'd rather the honesty.
Just own it because it's great. It's great. You should do. You're going on, what was it, December 30th? He turns 35 years of age. And he's played. He's up to, what is he now? To the
He passed Kobe total minutes.
So he's
like 56, 57,000 minutes.
Fourth now on the list. Wow. That's stunning to me.
Regular season minutes.
It's so he's got so many miles on those tires of his that you've got to be careful because I don't want to see him gone for the end of the year. And that's what you're playing with. That's the fire you're playing with right now.
He's going to be there. He's going to be good.
Okay.
So he said if I'm healthy, which he wasn't, err on the side of caution. See you Wednesday.
Really?
Triple dub.
So just a quick note, just 3 years ago back in his second go-around at Cleveland, there's a nationally televised game against the Clippers, and much to, this is according to Frank Isola of The Athletic, much to the chagrin of the league and ABC, guess who sat the game out? LeBron James, because he was load managing then.
I had tickets to that game.
You did?
Yes, I drove down there expecting to see him.
You're kidding.
I did.
He load managed you.
Skip, that was the back-to-back. As a matter of fact, they had the Clippers and the Lakers. So they were playing Clippers, and the next night they were playing the Lakers. Okay. And I was like, okay, I was thinking to go play both, but if he didn't, play the front end,
Yeah. You were
mad. Did you stay, or did you?
Man, I got down there. I went down and dapped him up, said, hey, boned out.
Deuces.
See you later.
That's
Shannon
exactly
went
what I
deuces.
did.
Also, that same year, they played Memphis on a back-to-back, home and away. And guess who didn't get on the plane to go to Memphis? He didn't. And I don't have any problem with that. Just
that was then. This is now.
Okay. Well, now he says, I don't load manage. If LeBron's healthy, LeBron plays.
LeBron plays.
Okay, well, so he's going to miraculously get healthy over 2 injuries by Christmas Day?
Skip, nagging. So it's a little rest. So we can put a little extra, therapeutic, getting a massage, getting those boots, hyperbaric chamber, get our physio to work on us a little bit. We're going to be all right.
Little vibranium.
Yeah, we good.
What do you got to do?
Yeah, I got it. But again, own it, LeBron.
You a
I'm
hater.
fine with it. I'm not a hater.
No, you hating.
And he's trying to finesse through this with the help of some of your friends, some of your DM friends.
What?
Rich Paul, Maverick Carter. It's okay.
I called him. Randy, I called him.
Yeah.
Look at LeBron. Man, that looking good. Look at that peacoat, the hoodie. Oh, bro, look at that little cross. Yeah,
I
tell you what, I bet not see Kawhi with one of those little pendants on his jacket.
What do you mean?
I bet not see Kawhi with one of them. Talk about he the key. He had one on his keychain. You saw what he had on his keychain.
I did in his car. It's a vintage car, and he's a vintage player. And I think he's been load managing. He's been load managing. He's going to be ready for Christmas.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, LeBron?
Yeah.
LeBron going to be ready.
You know, the one guy who's hurt right now looks like Anthony Davis because he tweaked his knee pretty good last night.
And he came back in and still got buckets.
Back in, he did.
He gonna be okay. He gonna be okay. We just need, like Kuzma say, that was about next man up. Next man up for LeBron. That's like next man up for Tom Brady. Next man up for Lamar or Russell. Stop it. There's some things there's certain positions, Skip, you might have next man up, but that ain't it.
Not LeBron.
Nope.
3-game
losing streak, though, for your guys.
What?
Put it into it.
First losing
but we got,
streak of the season.
I'm down by 33 cases. Because you know that old game Sunday. Yeah. How many cases we had? We had a lot of cases on the day.
5. Remember, I won 1 last week. That got it back up to 39, and you was just down to 34.
Yeah.
Feeling good about
and
that.
by the time I get done with you, when you miss the playoffs, that gonna be another. That'll be
that 5 for
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And then what do you have?
Playoffs.
Yeah. Your Cowboys.
I
thought that's what we lost.
Oh, no.
I thought I was conceding that to you.
Oh, no. What we have we had the Eagles. The Eagles, Cowboys, we had a little something on that, too.
No, we didn't. We didn't have anything. We had 5 on Dallas missing the playoffs, and they missed. I concede.
No,
I'm conceding.
No, I ain't touching the money. I don't want to hear nothing.
Not yet? Not
you got it. I give up.
I'm not listening.
It's over.
Hold on. You gave up against the Bears, and then when they came back and beat the Rams, you up here turning cartwheels. So, no, I'm not buying into your little stuff.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
No,
we don't know.
The Giants play. You saw the Giants the last 2 weeks.
No mercy.
Well, the Cowboys' offense was held in check in Philly. Ezekiel Elliott had under 50 yards on the ground. Zeke did haul in a team-high 7 catches, but that resulted in only 35 yards, and the All-Pro running back failed to find the end zone. Dak Prescott went 25 for 44 and had just over 250 yards with no touchdowns or picks. On 4th down, with under 2 minutes left, Dak failed to connect with Michael Gallup for the potential game-tying score. And Jerry Jones said the loss, well, it left him, quote, a little numb. Skip, maybe a little numb as well. We are now joined by Fox NFL analyst Michael Vick. Good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning.
In your opinion, Mike, the biggest reason the Eagles won was what?
I would say the defense. And I thought they played lights out for 4 quarters and complimented by the offense, and I'll get to that in a second. But the defense came to play, and I felt like if the Philadelphia Eagles was going to win this game, it was going to be because of the defense. You know, playing championship football when they needed it the most. The offense did complement what the defense was able to do. I think Doug Peterson has done a great job of not dumbing the offense down, but taking it back to, you know, the way they ran the offense during the championship run. You know, keeping everything in front of Carson. You know, concepts probably different, but, you know, not asking them to do as much. But when I think about the game as a whole, a signature win, it was the defense. You know, they stepped up big. The guys in the secondary who we questioned all year, who didn't step up through the course of the season, has now come through, you know, when it mattered the most and when it was time to play championship football. And I look at the Dallas Cowboys and what they did, they pretty much didn't hand the game to the Philadelphia Eagles, but there was a lot of drop passes. There was a lot of balls that was thrown that was errant throws. Or, you know, balls got away from Dak. I think he was still hurt, maybe from the AC joint injury. So it was a plethora of things. But when it's all said and done, this time of the year is when your defense got to step up big, and then your offense just complements what the defense brings to the table.
No, my God, I ain't gonna let you do that. I ain't gonna let you do that. Walking to him was the reason why. You know when you get in ball games like this, it comes down to one thing, quarterback play. No matter how good a defense is, if your quarterback plays, he can overcome. Because we've seen Tom Brady overcome great defenses. Because what? We say, oh, Tom, look at Tom, terrific. Look at this throw. 3 3rd and 10s. No. Walk it to him. And this is why talent evaluators will always tell you, Wentz is better than Dak. You give him that. You give him that offensive line. You give him those weapons, and you see where they'll be every year. There's a reason, Skip. Yeah, you making mistakes. I mean, Tom Brady going in the 6th round, yes. Joe Montana going in the 3rd round, you have that. But for the most part, it's hard to evaluate quarterbacks because we really never know. But we've seen a body of work. And we've seen when guys are comparable, one guy took his team, they were going to the Super Bowl. Your guy gonna miss the playoffs. With all that talent, Skip, in the second half, walking to him was 13 or 15 for $142. Can I interest you in that? One guy elevated his team, the other guy brought his team down. That's what your guy did, Skip. We see, I'm tired of this, and I'm asking Fox to do this as a favor to me. Like when they drop passes, 6 drop passes. But I need you to throw how many errant throws? I need you to throw the errant throw because the Tavon Austin, that was a tub.
That was
the one he had Michael Gallup on that shallow cross. He would have hit his head on the goalpost. That was bad.
Want me to play my tape of Carson Wentz's errant throws yesterday? Because there's a bunch of them.
Whoa, time out. Time out. It's my turn to talk. I'm gonna let you have your turn.
I'm just trying to.
He's got the video.
Got the floor, Skip. You got the floor.
I don't want no help from you because you already. You know he gave Dak a B for that game.
Yeah.
You look like I might look at you.
What did you just say?
Look at Mike. Look at you.
Banged
Mike
up
looking at you like you crazy. Mike, you know when you get on that.
Stay out of that one.
Mike,
Six drop passes.
Mike, you know
want to give out a grade right now.
Mike, you know when you get on that field, don't nobody care about them injuries.
Yes. You shouldn't be out there.
You shouldn't be out there.
Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks would not have played.
Who are they?
I sucked it up. And
I don't do that.
I respect that.
Yes, thank you.
I don't. Don't do. Hey,
understand that.
hold on, Mike. If I say, Mike, you go into the store, give me a cigarette and a case of beer, and you come back with toilet paper. You're like, bro, I didn't ask you for no toilet paper. I asked you for beer. Don't get out. Don't let me.
Say, wait a second. You don't smoke.
Well, let me finish. I'm just saying that. You come out, sucked it up, and what did he get me for that? He sucked it up and got what? I got L. Now I don't control my own destiny.
It came within one throw of tying the football game. That's what it came within.
You, Skip Bayless, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I'm not ashamed. I'm just spitting facts.
And the Eagles played New England. Wentz had the ball on Aguilar's hands with a chance to kick the field goal, the PAT, and tie the ball game. And he says Wentz need to make a better throw. That was a hard catch. But now you make all these excuses.
Yeah.
Skip, the reason why, 11 versus 4. That's the reason. Nothing else.
My turn. The main reason the Eagles won this game and the Cowboys lost this game occurred on 2nd and 2 at the 26 in the first series of the third quarter.
That was big.
Finally, we had a sighting of number 21, Zeke. Oh, wait, he made the trip. This is his first drive of the second half. First half, in his first 5 first down carries, he averaged -3 yards of first down touches, -3 yards. But all of a sudden, after my quarterback had taken it down, boom, 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 at the end of the half to make it 10-6 on a late field goal in the first half, we got the ball to start the second half. And wait, there's a Zeke sighting because he caught one for 8, and then he caught another one for 11. I'm thinking, wow, I'm seeing a little spark from the guy. I'm seeing a little electricity. Then 1st and 10, give it to him. He got a lane. Boom, he sledgehammered it up in there for 10 yards. They gave it to him right away. 8. What do you always tell me? What's Eric Dickerson always sit in that chair and tells him? You got to let him heat up. You got to keep feed the beast. Let him eat, right? So now it's 2nd and 2 at the Eagles 26. If you go cash this, you're going to be ahead in this football game, 13-10. I would have all the momentum, and I believe my team would have won that game if you cash. And what happened at that flashpoint moment of the game? This happened. Take me out, coach. Take you out? For what? What are you doing? That is gutless. That is no backbone. That is no heart. That is $50 million guaranteed dollars, and you got to suck it up and finish the drive. I'm sorry. Well, it takes the heart out of your football team because they all see it.
Hold on, Skip.
Like you're out.
Hold on. You just said, okay, Zeke ran, Zeke caught, Zeke ran. So 6 of those 8 plays, Zeke touched the ball. Mike Vick, you know this very well. Great players have the opportunity. They say, you go full speed. If you can't go full speed, tap your helmet and come out the game.
Baloney.
I thought
this is the game of the year.
What's Tony Pollard?
I thought he was hurt or he hit his head on the ground.
No.
Because I questioned why, the backup running back was in the game. And I
did he need people to come out and look at him? No, he waved and ran out of the game.
You saw the man hit his head.
Stop it.
That was the difference maker.
Did the ref stop the game and say, check this man out? Did he go to the blue tent? Did a doctor go over to him on the sideline? Did a trainer go over to him? Nobody went. He just stood on the sideline by himself.
Who's touching? Did you see a trainer touching Dak's shoulder?
No.
Did he go to the blue tent? Well, the trainers around asking, your shoulder
stop
okay?
It. You're trying to change the subject. And this is the subject because you can't do that to Tony Pollard, a rookie who has played no snaps in the game. And suddenly, on the fly, wait a second, I'm in now? Wait, you're rolling and I'm in?
Yes, you're the backup running back.
And it's 2nd and 2?
You got to stay ready.
Really?
Pollard has been consistent all year as far as him getting the ball and being able to make positive things happen.
Sure.
It was definitely a critical time in the game where Zeke should have been in the game.
Should have been in the game.
If he wasn't hurt. And I knew that was going to be the turning point of the game.
So you throw the rookie in and he gets 1 yard on second
So what you got to
down.
back up for? Now, you remember last week, you was out here talking about the
You
backup.
don't need a backup.
Why not?
You got a $50 million man.
You had him last week, too.
Come on.
And Tony Pollard had how many yards?
Well, what does it matter? This is the game of the year. This is for all the marbles.
Your quarterback went the Bears.
Stop it.
To your point, Zeke should have been in the game if he was healthy at that point. That's something he'll think about for a long time.
So then my team hangs in there, and finally my quarterback makes a huge 4th and 9 throw to Randall Cobb, and they get a field goal to cut it to 17-9. And they get the ball back twice after that. And what happens? Amari Cooper, the guy who changed life in Dallas a year ago, he's waving out every other play. What are you doing? This is it. This is Philadelphia for the division title.
That's what I see. I don't know how much Amari practices. And Mike, you know this. When you don't practice and you just try and play, your cardio, your conditioning sucks.
As a full participant, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's hurt, maybe he's not hurt.
But his body language speaks to me of a guy that's hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't look 100%. It looks like he's...
Okay, so last play of the game, throw to Michael Gallup. There's no Amari even on the field. And for what it's worth, there's no Randall Cobb on it. I don't even know what they were doing on the last play. Is that Kellen Moore's fault? Is it Jason Garrett's fault? I don't know.
They're tired, Skip.
Yeah, they're tired. They're worn out. They make too much money. They don't need this.
Skip. I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen Julio Jones tap his helmet and come out the game. Skip, when guys are running full speed.
Not Shannon, not now. Not this game. Maybe against Tampa at mid-year.
Hey, I don't get to say, hey, tired. Okay. Hey, tired. Don't jump on me now. This is the Eagles game. Jump on me next week.
Oh, stop.
When you run, Skip, you got to realize they're behind now. Now, even though I might not catch the ball, I'm running 40 yards down the field. Yeah. Now I got to sprint back.
Remember what Vince Lombardi said? Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
No, your quarterback
Fatigue makes cowards of us all. So that was cowardly on the part of Ezekiel Elliott and Amari. Cowardly.
Your quarterback
you
play
have
is
to suck
cowardly.
it up, and the rest of the team looks around and says,
It was so many throws and so many opportunities that was missed in that game.
Yes!
What do you tell me? You tell me my quarterback's the 3rd most valuable player on my team. So the first 2 most valuable players, according to you, waved out at the most crucial times of the biggest game of the year. Yeah. Stop it. Season over. Game over. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I'm wrong. Zeke's not as valuable. Amari's not as valuable.
Yeah.
Your guy got to deliver. Because my guy was down with his 3 top wide receivers and brought it home. Your guy had his.
Nobody throws it to the tight ends more than Carson Wentz, and he had his 2 tight ends.
But you got your 3 top receivers. Your 3 top receivers.
I don't have Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you do.
I don't have him.
No Alshon Jeffries, no D-Jack.
Hey,
Aguilar
still get it done.
The reason why we won, because Aguilar might be an Eagles, but he got a Cowboys jersey on up under there. So he point shaving. So he's dropping everything.
Greg Ward is better than him.
He is.
No mercy.
So Lamar Jackson may have all but locked up the MVP with another dominant performance on Sunday against the Browns. Down by 6 with under 2 minutes left in the first half, Lamar was able to find the end zone twice to take the lead, and he never looked back. The Baltimore QB ended up with over 300 total yards, 3 touchdowns on the way to a 31-15 win that locked up the #1 seed for the Ravens, who now sit at 13-2. Michael Vick still with us. Michael, should the Ravens be a heavy favorite, honestly, to win it all right now?
Yes, I think so. And you're looking at the most consistent team around the league. You see other teams, they've shown forms of inconsistencies in, one of the 3 phases of the game. And when you look at Baltimore, they've looked the same for all 16 weeks since the first game of the season versus Miami until yesterday. And Lamar just continues to get better, more comfortable within the offense. You will need offense, you get offense. You need defense, they give you stops. You need to play on special teams. And from what I've seen is that they can beat you with so many different guys. I mean, you got the tight end who, beat the Browns yesterday in between the hashes. And they showed that they can beat teams in between the hashes. They don't even have to go outside. They don't come downhill and run at you. It's just the most consistent team that I've seen so far. Everyone else around the league is figuring their way out, figuring their way, to, the keys to success and what they need to do. The Baltimore Ravens are very comfortable right now with what they're doing in their system in all 3 phases of the game.
I think they should be favored, but overwhelming favorites is something I'm going to give pushback on, Skip. Okay. I think the thing for me is that of all the teams that we think of, say New Orleans, San Francisco, Kansas City, the Patriots, I think they've been the most consistent. Game in, game out, week in, week out. You know what you're going to get from them, Skip. Even in the games they've lost, they've been able to run the football. Even in the game that Lamar Jackson got outplayed by Baker Mayfield, he still was spectacular. The difference was he turned the ball over. Now, they rarely turn the ball over. You would think as much as Lamar handles the ball in the mesh point in the backfield, he would have 7, 8, 10, 12 fumbles. He doesn't. And he's learning, Skip, he's getting 12 yards. I could get 15. Nah, I ain't going to take that hit. I'm getting out of bounds. Yeah, I can get another 5, 6 yards. Let me slide and get down. So they've been the most consistent. I've never seen a team that can run the ball like they run, can possess the ball, and then lead the league in scoring. They can score just in the blink of an eye because they run, and next thing you know, Mark Andrews is splitting the seams, hitting his head on the goalpost. For me, I think San Francisco is still a major player. Skip, I don't know if you noticed this last night, on Saturday night. Did you see that Saturday night? He picked up 3 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
That's why Coach Belichick wanted to make a move. 3 3rd and 16.
Wait, Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Wait, you mean the guy who had a QBR of 25?
Whoa, Skip.
He had a 25, a scale of 0 to 100.
Skip.
It's pathetic.
Whoa, your guy had a 26 in the Super Bowl. But hold on. His guy had a quarterback rating of 26 in the Super Bowl. But what did he do? He won.
Got the win.
Did Jimmy G win?
You still think?
Whoa!
You still think Bill Belichick's going to push Tom Brady out the back door after what you saw Saturday?
I stand by what I said, Skip Bayless. Okay. Look, they can run the ball and can control the clock because they're going to minimize your possessions. But they can be explosive. They've been the most consistent. I believe they should be the favorite, but I believe Kansas City could give them problems. New Orleans, with that offense, can give them problems. But the question is, because it just seems like because Mahomes and Drew, they don't need a whole lot of time because the offense are so explosive. But I did see New Orleans get beat at home by Atlanta. I've seen them have games
Fair.
Even yesterday, Skip, Tennessee. Now you get a 14-point lead. You got Derrick Henry. That might be a different ball game because they really couldn't run the ball. Give them credit. I believe they should be favored, but just not overwhelming favorites.
Okay. I don't know the injury status of Mark Ingram.
Correct.
He got hurt and something with his calf.
Right.
I thought it was Achilles.
And
I
he's
hope it's not.
He's in the boot.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen going forward. But if he's gone, let's do the hypothetical for the rest of the playoffs of the year. That's a huge loss.
That's huge.
For them because he has been, boy, you want to talk about thunder to Lamar's lightning.
Because it's plus, Skip, they throw it to him.
Catch it.
They throw it to him.
He caught the 12-yarder for the 21-6 touchdown that just broke it completely open coming out of the half. The other play that scared me yesterday, and just because we have Mr. Vick here, I want to show this one. This is 10:20 left in the third quarter. Lamar takes off, I don't know if you remember this play, and runs around the corner, and he could have run out of bounds. Instead, he says, I'm going to cut it upfield. You can't do it. No. You just can't take a shot. You're lucky it's a DB. I think it's Demarius Randall.
Skip, you the same. That's the play RG3 got hurt on when he was in Cleveland. He tried to take the guy head on. No, you got the first down. Get out of bounds.
Michael Vick, you know this. You can't do that.
No. That angle's horrible if you watch it.
That looks horrible at high speed. It looks like a car crash.
And when his coaches watch this film today and they sit down and watch it together, they're going to tell Lamar. And they probably told him that on a couple of different occasions. But it's hard when you're playing so fast. But the sideline is right there. You got to get. You got to.
Thought his receiver's going to make a block for him, and he wanted to cut it up.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's a head-on collision, and he's lucky it wasn't a linebacker. But still, that's no good. You're better than that. You got to protect for the sake of your team.
Right.
You got to protect because if you can stay upright and healthy,
they're going to be a tough out.
They're going to be a tough out. Now, I did tell you earlier that they really struggled to start the half. But Cleveland has been their kryptonite because Cleveland went to Baltimore and beat them 40-25, and it looked like we were on the way to that for much of the first half yesterday because we have in a row, we got a four, if we could show the plays, but it's 4th and 3 at the 41. They'll go for it on 4th and 3 every time. And he missed Mark Andrews with a pretty easy throw, I thought. He missed him, okay. And then we go to the lost fumble coming up next. And the mesh point, and you guys talked about, it just never happens. But it happened on that play, and that's a first. I don't think it's happened all year. They gave the fumble to Lamar, but I don't even know whose fault it is. It's like a close call. I guess it has to go to the quarterback. Then they had a 3rd and 4 and a 3rd and 6, and he missed receivers on both throws. So it wasn't great. It wasn't like perfect Lamar.
Right.
And this is the other third down. I think this is to Hollywood. No, that's the one out to. Yeah, here's the last one. And I don't know what they're doing. He went deep to Hollywood on this one, on 3rd and 6. So they don't have a point until a minute 18 left in the half. They don't have a point. And guess what happened? Explosion happened.
They get 14.
They just explode.
But Skip, nobody can touch their resume.
Yeah.
When you got the Pats, Seahawks, Niners, Texans, Rams on your resume as victories.
Nope. Nobody.
Fair.
Big margin victories.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. They beaten these teams by an average of 18 points. Let that sink in for a second. The Pats won their division. They're going to be 13-3.
Yep.
Seahawks, they just lost yesterday, but they're going to be 12-4 at worst.
Yep.
The Rams, we know what the Niners, probably going to be the #1 overall seed. And you got those on your resume. It lets you know, Skip, and that the way look, we knew Lamar could run. So basically what it looks like to me, Skip, he looked like he in college. Because that's exactly what he was doing in college when he won the Heisman Trophy, and he followed it up his junior year and had a better year. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
So I'm telling you, if you think you're going to just say, okay, we're going to stack the line, we're not going to let him run. His arm, he's confident enough that his arm is plenty good enough to beat you. But I don't believe you can do that. I don't believe you, because you make one mistake. And that's the thing, we go all week, okay, you got this guy and you got that guy. And what happens? Somebody always try to do somebody else's job, and then he pulls it, and now he's gone.
Yep. Now, even more important, 2 weeks to prepare. Where the regular season is over,
right?
And the playoffs is right around the corner. So, you know, the intensity is going to be heightened. You know, mistake-free football is going to have to be at its height. And, you know, 2 weeks to prepare. You know, this team could be dangerous,
They're gonna
but
put
at the
another
same
wrinkle
time,
in
they
there.
also have to keep their focus.
Yeah.
You know,
He's going to play this week. I mean, obviously, because the Steelers have a lot to play for, Skip, because they get an opportunity to get that last playoff spot. They're fighting with the Titans. So he's going to play. Because, Skip, you wouldn't want, why would you can't sit him, Skip, and have 3 weeks off.
Yeah,
that's too much time. Right.
You want to stay in rhythm.
Really?
No, I agree. And don't look now, but he's got a legion of boom on the other side, because that secondary is so good.
The addition of Marcus Peters has been everything to this team. I think that was probably the biggest hurdle they crossed to take them to the next level.
Because you know what they did? What that allowed them to do? That allowed them to kick Marlon Humphrey inside.
They did.
Absolutely.
So, and now kicked him inside, and you put Carr at a safety position. So you got a guy that's a former corner playing safety, and he could also play in the slot.
And Earl Thomas is Earl Thomas.
Yes. Yep.
Kansas City, the only team that I think in the AFC
Really?
as of right now that can give them a run for
You don't give New England any shot at Baltimore.
You know, it's a lot of inconsistencies there with New England. You know, they still got Tom Brady. I won't take that away, but Patrick Mahomes can beat you.
It's just hard to go against Tom.
And you can't be happy with what you've seen defensively, Skip, the last 6 weeks.
And Patrick.
Fair.
No mercy.
Carson Wentz had one of his better games of the season against the Cowboys. He completed over 77% of his passes for 319 yards and a touchdown. Wentz also avoided turning the ball over and kept the Eagles' playoff hopes alive with the 17-9 win. So, Shannon, what letter grade would you give your guy, Wentz, for his performance?
It's like walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it to him. I love Monday, Skip.
Enough of that fake laughter. Let's just get on.
Yeah, what was that?
That ain't nothing like a Monday where my guy outplays your guy, who I've been telling you since 2016 is better, but it can't get through your thick skull. Even Ernestine said his head is hard. I feel bad for Ernestine. You better have been nice to Ernestine, Skip. You better have done. See, I don't like that.
What, last night?
Yes.
No. Not last night.
I saw the video she posted. She tried everything to help you out.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip. Look.
I didn't even see that, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she posted a video.
She posted a video?
I'm learning so much now.
You did?
Yes.
And the folks coming to get you today, too. The folks coming to pick you up today, have a talk with you, the way you treated her. Skip, look, I give him an A+. Because he was everything they needed him to be. This is why you move heaven and earth. This is why you trade up to take him #2 overall. And he's everything that you hoped he would be. 31 of 40. Woo, spectacular, Skip. Touchdown, no interceptions, no turnovers, played a clean ball game, and he outplayed the superior team. He put this team on his back. He says, I'm going to match your defense. You do your thing, and I'll match your effort with my effort. And when you combine those two things, there's something to be said about, Skip. When you have a team that they shouldn't have won this game. Dallas is the better team, but they have the better quarterback, and they wanted it more. There's something about desire. There's something to be said about someone that wants something more than you. I used to tell my kids this all the time. I said, what's happening right now is that I want it more for you than you want it for yourself. And that's not good. Skip Bayless, you can't talk about this. You can't talk about how great you are, and we're a playoff caliber team, and Jerry, this is going to be a great script you guys are going to write. The adversity that we're going through, and you write the all-time script. A+ for walking to him. And he walked it out.
Really?
Now walk it out with me, Skip.
I'll give him a B.
No! Hold on, Skip Bayless. How you gonna get a guy that win the game, the very same guy grade that you gave the guy that lost the game?
What was his QBR?
61.
61, that's scale of 0 to 100. That's just a little above average.
Your guy was a 35.
See, Tom Brady had an 85 on Saturday. Carson Wentz had a 61 at home on Sunday. And you're giving him an A+ for that? Against my defense that didn't show up from the start? He went up and down the field the first 2 drives that they looked like they hadn't even gotten off the bus yet. Are you kidding me?
A+.
And my defense put little to no pressure on him the whole game, including scoreboard pressure. They sacked him once when he almost got back to the line of scrimmage. They touched him 3 times.
When he fumbled the ball, he fumbled.
3 times. And he finally fumbled, which he will do right on schedule. And it was your day and his day. Way to go. Congratulations. Fly, Eagles, fly, because the fumble bounced right back underneath him. It could have gone the other way, but instead you got to punt it away, and my last-ditch drive started at our 12-yard line. That's just good luck. You had one of those lucky days. And yet he got 118 yards rushing, and Miles Sanders had a game. He dramatically outplayed Ezekiel Elliott because he caught 5 balls for 77 yards. Those are pretty easy throws. And speaking of easy throws, once upon a time, Dallas was sitting there in the second round saying, we got Dallas Goedert. We got Dallas. Dallas was going to get Dallas. And what happened at the last second? Howie Roseman snaked up above them, traded up above them, and got Dallas Goedert. Yesterday, Dallas did Dallas. He caught 9 balls for 91 yards, and they had no matchup. They had Malcolm Smith coming off his couch. He hasn't played for anybody all year. And half the time he was trying to run with Dallas Goedert. Did you see number 43 for Dallas?
I saw
his jersey was clean because he didn't tackle anybody. Malcolm Smith, once upon a time, he was the Super Bowl MVP, and it was like eons ago for the Legion of Boom. And since then, you haven't heard from him.
But I love how you keep talking about Miles Sanders. I played Zeke Elliott.
Oh, did he?
The quarterback for the Eagles, I played Dak Prescott also.
156 yards to what was it, 77 total for Zeke. So Miles Sanders in total yards, all-purpose yards, just about doubled him.
But Skip, you saw what they did, and Mike mentioned this earlier. They screened the heck out of the Cowboys. They caught them coming upfield, and they run the screen out the back door, and they got a lot of yardage out of that play. They ran, and that's one thing about Andy Skip. Now, you know Andy Reid. They're going to run some screens on you. You look at all his tree, his lineage, all the guys that come from that Andy Reid, they will screen the heck out of you. That comes from Mike Holmgren, who ran a lot of screens when he was in Green Bay. But Skip,
I'll give you Carson Wentz. He threw some mean screens.
Well,
those are tough.
Hold on. But you didn't say nothing. Hold on. You didn't say nothing about that when Pollard was catching that screen, or when Zeke hit his head on the goalpost in Pittsburgh. You remember that, Skip?
That was
80 yards?
4 years ago.
But did it happen?
You're having to reach back for that?
I'm just asking, did it happen? I'm just trying to figure out.
Will it happen again and again and again and again?
Hold on, Skip. Remember? Everybody kept talking, and I hear everybody, and I love Clarence Hill Jr. I always follow Clarence Hill Jr. And he's talking about, Dak's warming up. He's making all the throws, throwing from the pocket, throwing on the move. I appreciate that update. How'd he throw in the game? How'd he throw in the game? Now, you tell me all the time, if the guy has the high QBR and he outplays, he's better. My guy had a high QBR. My guy outplayed your guy. My guy had a better completion percentage. My guy had more touchdown passes. I'm trying to figure out.
Here's the deal with your guy. He's got the haywire gene in him. He will come unglued. If you put heat on him, if you put any pressure on him in the pocket or on the scoreboard, if they fall even slightly behind, which they should have fallen behind 13-10, then we'd find out what Carson, W-I-N-C-E, is made of. He will wince. He will go deer in headlights under pressure. My guy, the worse it gets, the tougher my guy is.
I can tell. The worse it gets, the less likely your guy is to come from behind.
So but your guy had scored a grand total of 17 points against my defense, and you're giving him an A+? Are you kidding me? Have you watched my defense all year? It's been a disaster.
Case Keenum threw for 393 against the Eagos. Kirk Cousins threw for 324.
Wait, this is about Carson Wentz.
But Skip,
17 points is all you got? You're giving him an A+ for 17 against my defense? People torch my defense. Did you see what Mitchell Trubisky did to my defense?
Skip.
My God.
You gave a guy a B that got 9 points.
My God, that's all they had.
You gave a guy beating
no Zeke in key moments, no Amari in key moments, and they dropped 6 balls. Yeah, I showed you all the good throws. My guy made as many good throws as this guy.
No, he
made.
didn't.
Yes, he
did. No, he
did.
didn't. Yeah. He had more bad throws, too. Way more bad throws. Because we ain't got that kind of time.
My guy didn't practice all week and had a banged-up shoulder. Was your guy healthy?
I woke our guys up, our bosses up, Charlie and Witt. I woke them up out of bed. I said, I need to make the show 3 hours. They said, why you want to make it 3 hours today? I said, I need to show all these bad throws Dak had in the game. It's going to take us an extra 30 minutes to get it in. They said, no, Shannon, but we'll get back to you. We'll talk to you next go around. Yeah. Talk about making the show 3 hours.
We needed the extra half hour to show all of Wentz's screen passes. Because he was screening his guts out. They're hard.
Just last week, your quarterback, he's been out playing Jared Goff, and he finally has something to show for it. Thunder and lightning. Oh, Zeke Elliott, Tony Pollard. Now you don't want Tony Pollard to play. It's cold. He didn't have what? Get a backup running back.
Yeah, I want him to play a whole series, which is what they used to do. They'd give him a whole series where he could get ready. You're going to get the 5th series of the game.
What'd they tell you?
Really?
What'd they tell you?
Tell him that my guy waved out. That's what happened, and that was the end of my year. Way to go, Carson. You won it by default. By default.
They don't default. They don't default. No. Where is that? I want NFL films. I want you to pick up because I heard last time they played this easy money. Or Amari and Dap. Dap daddy.
Wait a second.
Easy money.
Last I saw, Dak was thrown into the end zone to tie the game.
Tie what?
Wow, that's
tie what? I don't see nothing.
Where was Carson Wentz all that time?
Hold on. All I saw was the Eagles put up that walking to him. You Eagles, I tell you what, Eagles. Y'all better give me some of that money.
I did a little research, Shannon,
What they do?
And I want to make sure everyone could see it.
What they do?
This is actually what they did. They put up this great picture of Wentz, and I'll walk it to him. The one I saw, a picture of him.
Oh, you're famous now.
So
Philadelphia.
That's what his name is.
They've been listening.
What's Dak's name?
They don't even know what it means.
You do. Don't do that, Skip. What's Dak's nickname?
I mean, what did we see against the Giants and Washington? He was horrible against both of them.
No,
he was horrible.
Skip Bayless.
He
don't
was
do that.
horrible.
Skip, don't do that.
He was horrible, which is why his QBR is below Dak's for the year.
13 for 13 in the 4 quarters. Yeah. He was 11-11 the last week against Washington with 2 tubs.
You seen for the first 3.5 quarters against the Giants? Remember that one?
I saw him for the whole. I saw Dak the whole game against the Eagles.
You know what? We would need 4 hours to show all the bad throws he made against the Giants that night.
Let me tell you what I did see.
4 hours.
I saw 10 points against the Saints. I saw 9 points against the Pats. I saw get beat by. Hold on, Skip Bayless. Now your guy keep losing. Your guy lost a walkie to him. He lost to Sam Darnold. He lost to Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't no shame losing to Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Yeah. I mean, when your guy gonna win a game?
All I know is when Carson Wentz fumbled, that Fox quickly pointed out, Joe Buck pointed out, that was his 47th fumble in his 4-year career. Wow. He is a slot machine fumbler. Just pull on his arm, boop, the ball bounces out.
And guess what? And he didn't spit out y'all no money. He came right on back down the field and let them down the field, Skip Bayless.
Sometimes it's your day.
No. So when is it going to be Dak Day?
Well, you know.
Not this year.
No mercy.
So here's the thing. The Cowboys can still win the NFC East with a victory Sunday and a loss from the Eagles. According to Fox Bet, Philly is a 4.5-point favorite at the Giants, while the Cowboys are 10.5-point favorites over the Redskins. This thing ain't over. Shannon, do you give the Giants any chance to upset the Eagles?
Hell yes, absolutely. For me, I would have made this a pick'em game. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but the Eagles the last 2 weeks scored 36. Not Eagles, the Giants scored 36, and then they scored 41. The Eli got them to 36. Now remember, Skip, just 3 weeks ago, it took the Eagles overtime after the Giants were up 17-3. Now this is the same Dolphins team. You know, Fitzmagic went for 364 and 3 touchdowns. So we've seen them have slip-ups, Skip. We saw it against the Lions. We saw it, like I said, just a month ago against the Dolphins. So absolutely, they can go up there. And Danny Dimes came back yesterday, 355 touchdowns, the game winning overtime. Saquon doing old Saquon type thing. Yeah. 26 touches, 279 home run speed. So absolutely, would I be look. My money, my Fox Bet money, I'm gonna leave my little bit of money on. I might take the Giants in the points.
You're gonna take the Giants? You just told me walk it to him's the greatest thing you ever walked. Am I right? So wait, you have no faith now in walk it to him against the lowly Giants?
Hold on.
What are they, 3-12?
Hold on, what am I doing? Am I trying to pick a game or I'm trying to win money?
Trying to win money.
Okay, well, I'm trying to win money. I'm taking the Giants.
Then you have no faith at all.
No.
Walk it to him. He's on fire. That's what you just told me. You just gave him an A+. What are you doing?
If he was playing the Cowboys.
Oh,
They're playing the Giants. The Giants at home that they just went to overtime with in their own building.
The Giants. What are they? Aren't they 3-12? I think that's what they are.
Look that up.
Right?
Skip.
3-12, and you would bet money that the Giants would win the game?
Skip. Hold on.
Seriously?
To make this a 4-point line, at worst case scenario, Skip, this is a pick-em ball game.
A pick-em ball game?
This is a pick-em ball game.
The Eagles are going to win this by at least 3 touchdowns. It will be a rout. They have caught fire. They slowly started to roll, and yesterday they rolled like crazy.
I don't know, Skip, I don't know about you, but I watched this game. The Giants played out of their minds.
You did?
I did.
I did not.
You did not.
I know you
watched.
I watched it. Dan, Skip, he was dealing yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say 5 touchdowns and 352 yards with no interceptions and no fumbles.
And Saquon.
Really
Saquon hit his head on the goalpost from the distance, Skip.
Well, here's the better point about all this. I have no faith that my team can beat Case Keenum at Jerry World. I have no faith.
I do.
Because Case Keenum almost beat them at Washington. It took moving heaven and earth through the late second, third quarters for them to even get back into the game against Case Keenum. He lit them up just the way he lit the Eagles up. And I assume he's going to have to play because Dwayne Haskins had an ankle turn, and he said that Dan Snyder told him later.
You see what I'm saying? You see,
he had to kind of walk that back.
You see what happens?
Yeah.
You see what owners get involved in? That should be the trainers, a coach's decision.
But it came across like Dan Snyder had told him during the game, don't go back in.
So how did he talk to Daniel Snyder?
He tried to amend that on Twitter later, saying, "Oh, he told me in the locker room it was good. I didn't go back."
No, he didn't. So hold on. I thought there was supposed to be contact from upstairs and downstairs.
Oh, is that how it's supposed to work? Interesting. I wonder how you get away with that.
The Redskins hate the Cowboys even more than the Eagles hate the Cowboys, and they would like nothing better than to just finish us off, which they are highly capable of doing.
They do, Skip, the players. But Jerry Jones and Daniel Snyder's are like this here. They buddies.
I don't know if they're buddies.
They buddies.
I never get buddies.
They buddies.
Yeah. So what?
No.
But the players play. Jerry doesn't play. Daniel Snyder definitely doesn't
tell
play.
Jerry that. Because he showed me doing a lot of talking like he played.
No, he hasn't. So the point is, the Giants will get blown off the field by the Eagles.
No, they won't. Stop it.
And even if you're right, even if somehow the Giants pull off this miraculous upset, watch. The vintage way that my team, the fitting way for my season to end would be Giants win and Redskins win.
It would only be fitting.
That would be perfect.
No, I want the Eagles to go take care of business. But this game is not going to be easy. I promise you, this game is not going to be easy.
Somebody's lost his faith immediately and quote unquote walk it to him. Somebody doesn't really believe it.
I've watched the Giants play.
Did you watch Miles Sanders yesterday? Did you watch Dallas Goedert?
So let me ask you a question.
Did you watch the Eagles defense?
You watch Saquon?
Woo.
Did you watch Saquon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
And that was against the Redskins, okay?
Hold on.
These are the Eagles. The Eagles just beat the Giants.
The Eagles just beat the Redskins on the last-second play. The Eagles also beat the Giants, had to go to overtime to do it with Eli. And they were down 17-3.
It's over. Just let it go.
Nah.
I've already conceded.
No, I want you to concede.
It's over.
Because
this has been hard for this guy.
He did this in Chicago, remember? He did it against Chicago, and then what did he come in here and do last Monday when they beat the Rams? Do that again, Skip. That thing that you did against the Rams, do that today.
He's not going to do it.
I know what you did.
He's not going to do it.
I don't forget what it was. The thing that you do, you look at the camera.
Skip has been having a hard time with Ezekiel Elliott, and that means the jersey is back in the trash.
You better believe it,
Zeke,
and it's staying there.
She had something to say to you, Skip.
Yeah.
She's not happy.
Good.
We'll tell you. I want you to do it.
Mama Zeke, come on over to the good guy side.
No mercy.
After Ezekiel Elliott was held under 50 yards on the ground and failed to find the end zone in the loss to the Eagles, Skip threw away Zeke's jersey for the second time this season. Jeez, and you know what? Zeke's mom responded on Twitter. She is not happy, saying, quote, and leave it there this time, or better yet, why don't you burn it? So, Skip, your response.
I thought about burning it, and if I'd had a number 19 Amari jersey, I would have burned that. And if there was such a thing as a Jerry Jones jersey, I would burn that. Is there a suit I could burn? A Jerry suit? I don't know. All I know is that Zeke waved out of the critical moment of this game. And again, I'm just real raw emotion after these games. I still haven't recovered. I didn't go to sleep. And I threw that jersey in the trash with venom because he let me down. That was gutless. That was no backbone. That tore the heart out of my football team. And I'm sorry, he makes too much money to wave out of a football game when it's on the line.
Where you going to burn that number 4? Because he didn't wave in the game. Really? He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about no shoulder because I didn't see no trainers talking to him. Yeah. I didn't see him going to the tent. I didn't see any of that.
You didn't see him getting injected?
All I see was underperforming. I saw an underperforming, overconfident guy. That's what I saw.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I saw a Zeke whose first 5 carries on first down netted -3 yards. He wasn't ready to play yesterday. He's ready against the Rams. He's ready.
What about your quarterback? Was he ready to play?
Well, he banged up his shoulder so bad he needed a cortisone shot last week and did not practice a single day last week before the biggest game of the year. Way to go, Shannon.
I'm trying to figure this out. Now, the guy took a cortisone shot on Friday, and he got pain-numbing medication on Sunday. But he lowered his shoulder and tried to run over said person in a ball game.
Well, at least he's got some guts. I don't know about the running back, and I don't know about number 19 either. I've never seen anything like this before.
He ain't got no victory.
Waving out of the biggest game of the year. Both of them.
That was your quarterback waving.
You can have both of them.
That was your quarterback when he threw that ball over Tavon's head. That was your season that he threw away.
Honestly, though, over 4 million views for that video, Skip. So apparently
almost 5 million.
Is it almost 5 now in the last couple?
Twitter because it was real.
That's okay.
A lot of people.
Put number 4 in there, you got 10 million. If you put number 4 in there, you get 30 million.
That's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern.
Mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.